Here we are at a busy Toaster racecourse. It's a Star Sports and TRC English Greyhound Derby round 360 greyhounds, or just over, started the journey a couple of weeks ago. We're down to the final 48 in the English Derby this year. In fact, we're now down to 47 because we do have a bit of breaking news. Racket Brute is not in the lineup for Heat 1, but could it be one of these guys that gets their hands on the Derby trophy?
And they're away and racing on. Bocco's Diamond's come out like a firecracker. Bocco's Diamond is showing his magic there and going 7-8 lengths clear. Bocco's Diamond sparkling in the Toaster sun. Whatever Crystal Palace can do, Bocco's Diamond can do it better. Down the far side, it's Baller Bowler Joe. It's Baller Bowler Joe, who's around about 3 lengths clear. Da-la-di-da, he's closing him down, but won't get there. And Baller Bowler Joe is the winner, and he is officially now known as the Fawn Flash. Cheap Sandwiches is Cheap Sandwiches from Fay Point Harvey. Cheap Sandwiches is going to win 5-1 and 3 the order.
Just a nice greyhound, if you know what I mean. He does what it says on the tin, like he's a good dog.
Bombay Pat, the hot favourite, has a 2-length lead. As they turn for the judge now, it's Bombay Pat with this 3-length cushion over Prince Nessim, who's run an absolute burster back in second.
It's a great start for the night. He came out better tonight, and yeah, look, he's there for the next round. That's the main thing. Very pleased with him.
Well, they are just a few of the greyhounds who have been winning over the last couple of weeks, and Joe, what a night we have in store.
Yeah, the calm before the storm, Danny. I feel like we've been here all day, all night, and you know, we've seen it go from being really quiet to all of a sudden now the crowd's out there. The last 48, one of the best nights of racing in the whole calendar. Yeah. We see the winner tonight, which we don't get to see too often. We only get to say that now. 4 nights we get to see the Derby winner guaranteed on this night. Bring it on.
I cannot wait for this evening's action, and we're not too far away from the first race, in fact, because we've got 8 cracking heats of round 3. So what specifically do we have in store for you? Well, in their first heat, Racket Hall Brute is out, so we're down to a 5-dog heat, which means there's only 47 dogs we're going to see this evening. The heat that I think most people are looking forward to the most is the 806 with Bocco's Diamond and Cheap Sandwiches. The 1-2 from the Irish Derby are in there in 5 and 6, and then we round off with the old boy Churchfield Sid. Well, 2 fan favourites really, Churchfield Sid and Barntick Bear, but I'd always be with Sid, I think. Let's have a look at the outright betting. We've got some best prices around for Bocco's Diamond, 3-1, Cheap Sandwiches 6s, 8-1 Bombay Pat, Da-la-di-da, last year's champion 12s, Ballinabola Joe 14s, Droopy's Plunge at 16s with March on Freddy 25s, and bigger the rest. So bit of an Irish domination, Joe. There
is. It's hard to look past them, but just a little bit of info there. Tiffield Tarquin 25-1. Yep. Now Droopy's Trade tonight, Danny, has been smashed off the boards to beat Tiffield Tarquin, so he's around 33-1. So if you think that he's a good thing tonight, Droopy's Trade, take the 33-1 because he might be sure after tonight if money talks and he does do the business. So a bit of shrewd betting potentially there from Joe. We'll see how it all plays out this evening. But now our final member of the team, Hobbsy.
Well, thanks, Danny. Yeah, a fantastic Star Sports 3rd round of the English Derby in store. And Patrick Janssens, I'm joined by... There's so much talk about the Irish trained runners in this year's Classic, but you're the man who's got 6 runners through to the 3rd round, sitting pretty.
Yeah, they're all doing well so far, you know what I mean? They've all done their job, and yeah, we're here tonight with 6 all in different heats. That's a bonus, so yeah, they're all in good order, so fingers crossed.
Let's quickly go through them. Sentinel seems to be back to his best.
Yeah, he is. Last week he didn't break as well as he can, but and he ran well to qualify, really. Still done 28.93 in defeat, so yeah, we're pleased with him.
And you've got a nice young team, Tomcat, Trade, Plunge as well.
Yeah, they all keep improving, really, you know what I mean? Like the Droopy Straight dog, he's sort of gone from 29.40 to 28.80 in 2 runs. So, and Romeo Tomcat as well, he done 28.60, done 28.80. So, yeah, he's doing really, really well. And Droopy's Plunge, yeah, he didn't break as well last week, but he still battled on to qualify, so that's the main thing.
And talking of qualification, that's the name of the game. Romeo Empire's doing the business.
Yeah, he is. I think he's all the time sort of, you know, like last week, he come out well, but sort of they chopped him off at the first bend and he got shoveled back to 3rd. But his passing dog's much more fluent than he was sort of a month ago. It was sort of always hesitating, but now he's going inside, outside. He knows where he wants to run as well. Before, is he middle, is he rails? And you can see now with the head-ons and everything, he's definitely rails. So, yeah, he's improving all the time, the dog.
And how do you see Barntic Bear? It's a tricky last heat, that one.
Yeah, it is. It's very tricky. But listen, there's a lot of dogs in there who have to lead to do well. He don't have to lead at all. He has to come off the pace. There's only one dog who can lead, and we just hope for a running behind. That's what you hope all the time with him, you know. At the end of the day, if you put him round on his own here, he probably is one of the fastest in the competition. But it's just with 6 other dogs. But I thought last week, do you know what I mean, down the back straight, so much pace, and I knew the Druids Hall Go dog would take his ground, and he took his ground at the third bend, got shoveled back to 5th. Do you know what I mean? Brought Sunnyside Broxy back in the race because he was last at that point. So, and he still battled on to finish 3rd, you know, and that's all what you want, you know. He never really runs a bad race. He's very frustrating, but he never runs a bad race.
And you've been there, seen it, done it. You're a Derby winning trainer, of course. What does a 3rd round mean to you guys?
Well, it's sort of the cream comes to the top, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And these dogs I said it before when they started, they're all very good, very good. I think sort of the slowest is probably H1-H8 from the lot, you know. But there's 2 dogs in there like Romeo Tomcat and Droopy Straight. I don't think anybody knows how good they are. So they keep improving. They could be anything. You know, we know what Barntic Bear can do. Romeo Empire is there on merit, and he's going to be a 6 bend dog in time, but he's running on very strong. And do you know what I mean? It's like Slick Sentinel. He loves this place. He won the Juvenile Derby last year. He can go from trap 6. He normally goes absolutely ping, you know what I mean? And he's very good from the front. So they're all different types. Droopy Splunge is a very fast dog as well, but they're all different. And I don't want to hype them up because they can all go pay a shape tonight, but they're all class, aren't they, at the end of the day? You know, they're all there or thereabouts. They're fast dogs, so, and you just hope for the best that you get a run tonight and qualify.
You're flying the flag well, my friend, so good luck to your runs tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good luck.
Patrick, he's got a good hand in the Derby this year. Some characters in his kennel as well. A couple of shy types that we won't see on parade, but I think he's got a good chance to get a fair number of them through.
Yeah, I hope he gets Romeo Empire through. He's one for me. So, yeah, he's got a very strong team, hasn't he? A really strong team still. To have 6 left in it still at this stage takes some doing. You know, so 6 out of 47. He's got a decent ratio. A lot of strong runners as well, Danny. Just keep qualifying. That's the most important thing.
Indeed. Well, we have got a few shots of what's going on outside at the moment because I think there's quite a few people in the crowd. Now, we have got the first couple of races of the card as well that are ongoing at the moment, but that is a sight to see.
It is. Plenty of people enjoying it. The arms are in the air. Bit of bouncing, there you go. Hope you've won, kids. Hope you won, lads, because if you haven't, you look a bit silly there. But, yeah, he just put his hand to his head, so I think he might have been beating chin on the line. So, yeah, I hope he's won the photo. We could hear PL, actually.
Yeah, it sounded close.
Leave it to the judge. So,
to the judge.
It's terrible, ain't it? I hope that kid's on the right side of the photo.
We've got plenty of people getting in touch on the YouTube channel as well. Delardi Diaries a massive lay. Big words for Doghouse Riley. Vagar me bet tonight. Well, I've napped him, so I'm sorry in advance, John.
Is that you? Have you typed in yourself?
Yeah, I've just decided to call myself John. It's my weekend name. All the boys on Broxy. Plenty of people on one of your best bets of the evening.
They're good judges, aren't they?
We'll see. Right, we've got our top 10 fastest of the both rounds. So we've got a couple in here that have got their names twice on the board. As you were alluding to before, Droopy's trade could be a fair bit of value at 33s.
He could, and just them names on there, Danny. Bombay Pat twice, Ballinabola Joe twice. Consistency is key. During a 6-round competition, you need that consistency. Like we see Lenny's Desire on there, unfortunately not in the 3rd round. Going forward, got loads of trouble in the 2nd round last week. Everyone else still there, you know, from rounds 1 and 2. Consistency is key. And now getting to this stage, as we heard Patrick say, the cream rises. That's what it's all about. We've got 47 unbelievable Greyhounds left. The cream will rise to the top.
It's so exciting. Right, I think we've got quite a busy betting ring as well, Hobbsy.
Thank you very much, Danny. Yeah, it's building up pretty nicely. I have to say, I'm just by the Star Sports pitch as I get rid of my bottle of water. Right, Khan, lovely to see you. Heat 4, we're all talking about it, of course.
Yeah.
Boccos versus cheap sandwiches. How are you going to bet in that heat?
Well, on the early price, we were 2 to 5 Boccos, 5 to 2 cheap sandwiches. I think there may be a little bit of give in the price there for Boccos Diamond, but we're actually going to bet without both as well on the extra board. So, you know, there's no point in just betting without Boccos. Cheap sandwiches will be very short. We bet without them both. It's a very good booking behind. You've got 4 dogs with a good chance. But as I say, we obviously take a strong opinion on Boccos. We'll be trying to get cheap sandwiches out of the competition. We've kept Boccos on side with this one. We want him out. So, yeah, Bombay pattern cheap sandwiches, they are bogeys for us. So anything bar them at the minute.
But it's been the story of the derby, isn't it? Each time I read Simon Knott's sort of appraisal of what's been going on in the Star Sports pitch, it's a tale of woe for you guys.
It is. I mean, we've still got a smile on our face somehow. I think it's just the atmosphere, the people and the food. You know, it's other than that, we've just been hemorrhaging money. We're looking forward to tonight. I think there's still a couple heats, a few short ones, but it looks a little bit more competitive. It's a good crowd here tonight. We've taken some good business in the graded races so far tonight. Yeah, but as I say, we've got there's an on-runner in the first race now that's changed a few prices, but we've taken plenty of multiples pre-racing here tonight. As we've come up, we've got special equipment on the machines these days. They want to be on. They're all putting Boccos, they're all putting Bombay. If we can get one beat, that would be the bonus, but we'll go after a few during the meeting. Shoulders out, chest out.
I was going to say, look, I'm just going to get Finn to just turn around and have a look at the punters there. They're giving you the evil eye at the moment. I think they're ready to steam it.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, they've been wading in every week. I mean, we've had to get more money again. I mean, there's been plenty of reels this week and plenty of videos about me and Lofty moaning and groaning. Look, we're happy. We've come here. We enjoy it. The big conundrum is on finals night. This is all just the build-up. This is we're just sparring for now, shall we say?
That, of course, is Saturday, the 14th of June. Right, we're going to catch up with you through the night, you guys.
As well.
Exactly. We'll have a chat with Lofty. Fastest heat, absolutely. All the prices there with Star Sports. We're going to have a chat to one or two of the other bookmakers as well, and what promises to be a busy night, albeit quite dank. It's quite wet out here, guys.
Yeah, you know what? I'm really glad I'm in the studio tonight, I'm not going to lie.
I loved it over there last time. It was brilliant. Nice, cool evening. We've done the right thing tonight. I saw the forecast and went, yeah, we'll stay indoors tonight.
Yeah. Let's not swap, yeah. Now we've got Keneally's...
Crackers, Danny. Yes, crackers. Thank you very much.
Forgot what they were called.
Not Calamity.
Sorry.
Oh, we've got 3 non-selections here as well.
3 non-runners. No,
yeah.
Joking.
Yeah, we start with the nap. We're going early. Sunnyside Broxy is the nap. He was around 7 to 2, 4 to 1 when we wanted to nap him. I do think the 5-dog race will help him now as well, though, with Racket All Brew, who's a strong runner, out of the equation. I can see New and Benny just holding Slick Sentinel up. Even if Slick Sentinel leads, if this dog can lead righty and turn in a good position, I think he'll win. So he's a nap. He's around 15 to 8 now. Next best, Faye Point Harvey. All the rage all week, Danny. Has been loads of money for him. 11 to 4 into around 7 to 4. The other money dog was Droopy's Trade, as we said, against Tiffield Tarquin. 5 to 2 opened up Sunday morning. You can't get any bigger than 6 to 4 now. And the ones through there are Bombay Pat, of course, who I think will win with the empty space there in the second race. Ballinabola Joe in the 7.46. And in the last race, in the 8.06, of course, Boccos Diamond against Cheap Sandwiches. 2 of my anti-post bets in there. Cheap Sandwiches, JT Craze. Hopefully get them through. Hopefully get Romeo Empire through. Hopefully get Sunnyside Broxy through. They're the 4 we've got left. And we're finishing with the old boy Churchill Sid to lead and do the business, continue his love affair with this place.
Oh, I can't wait. That's the one I'm really looking forward to because I love Sid. I mean, quite a lot of people do. Yeah, it's not my nap.
Oh, look at that nap. What a price. He's after some points, people, because if you look at the GWA tipping service, there's bottom of the league, and then there's Danny. She is absolutely miles beyond. If this was a boxing match, honestly, the towel would have been thrown in after about 30 seconds. Yeah. So you're after a big price nap.
I am. And
you know what, though? I can see it.
Yeah, so can I. That's why I've napped her. Funnily enough, I can her winning.
It's a big price. Normally you wouldn't go for you would nap her, would you? But look.
It was all the rest of the races I could kind of go for the shorties.
Yeah.
Whereas I wanted to go for something a little bit bigger. Don't get me wrong, I love Sing Along Molly, but I just thought Vagar tonight, I think she is so strong and she had to ride a bit of a crowd last time. How she managed to qualify last week, I will never ever know. Never ever know. But if she manages to just get a clean run around the opening bends, then I think we're going to see her fly. And I think it's going to be very interesting. One question for you that's just come through. What if there's a dead heat between a third and fourth runner? Who qualifies when that happens? So
now, with the 4-day rule, it would be a flip of a coin. And it would have to be decided that way. It used to be they could have a rerun.
Yeah.
So they'd have a rerun on the Tuesday. If they both connections agreed to a rerun, it would be on the Tuesday. But with the 4-day rule now, that can't happen. So it would have to be a flip of a coin, which is a horrible way to go out. We saw Arthur Cornflake, didn't we?
Yeah.
In the Irish Derby, go out on the back of a flip of a coin. So yeah, unfortunately, that's what it'd be.
Thank you for that, Joe. And if you have got any questions, do keep them coming on the YouTube channel. Keep it clean, though, everybody. 806 Toaster, heat of the night, of course, with the top 2 in the market. Bocco's Diamond 2-1 on, and Cheap Sandwiches 5-2 in action. 12-1 for 1 and 2, JT Craze and Droopy's Bookham. 25 Salakers Sennen and Kevin's Rocket at 50s. We're going to have a look at the clash from November in the Irish Derby at Shelburne.
Yeah, brilliant race, Danny, and this is Bocco's Diamond at his absolute best. And to be fair, it was Cheap Sandwiches at his absolute best as well. Yeah. And credit to him. And it was a cracking race, it really was. You had Callaway Kinniger in there, Sing-Along Dolly, I believe, was in there, Bowl Sports Bob, and a Lucky Julie. So a really, really top-class race, and this was Bocco's Diamond at its peak. I don't think Connections would have been pleased when they saw the weather during the day. It absolutely hammered down with rain, and he just went on to win by a length in the end by Cheap Sandwiches. We've got him again tonight. Connections will be gutted, really. You know, you don't really want to be up against that kind of calibre of dog in the 3rd round. Look, you take your chance, quarter, semis, final, whatever, you get there and you take your look. But, yeah, to meet in the 3rd round, they've got to be bang at it here. And, you know, could play into the hands of one of the stronger running types. But if he comes away level Bocco's Diamond, he'll lead, won't he? And then I believe the best Ben runner I've seen at Toaster for a hell of a long time in Cheap Sandwiches. Yeah. And then hopefully you can get JT Craze sneaking through as well.
Question for the viewers, is it just Bocco's Diamond's early pace that makes him a slightly better and faster greyhound than Cheap Sandwiches? We have got Cheap Sandwiches in action back last week on Saturday, beating JT Craze into 3rd place. That is
Bocco's Diamond.
You know what? I loved this race because last week I had JK in the studio with me. And once we'd seen Bocco's Diamond away and gone, now JK's got a share in Kevin's Rocket. Both of our eyes turned from Bocco's, yeah, he's done it. Come on, Kevin's Rocket, just cling on to a place, because he'd gone off so quickly. And then he's just clung on for 3rd place in the end. And what a, you know, career best run that was for Kevin's Rocket. He's in the same race with him again tonight. I mean, talk about draws, the poor lad.
He must have seen him in the paddock and just nutted him. Want to see you again today. But, yeah, look, it's unfortunate, but when you get to this stage, Danny, you've got 47 left, 48. That was Racket or Brute in 2nd, unfortunately, isn't going today. And, you know, when you get to this stage, you're going to be in with top-class dogs, aren't you? And just, you've bumped into the best again, which is tricky.
It is, but we've got plenty of good races coming up this evening, and we are going to have a look at Cheap Sandwiches in action. And this was last week when beating JT Craze into 3rd place. And, you know, he's in trap 5 on this occasion, he's 6 tonight, but you see the balance of this dog, and it's just the stamp of a superstar for me.
Absolutely. He didn't come away there and still did a 397 section on, you know, Faith Point Harvey. We're saying that, we say he didn't come away. Faith Point Harvey flew out of the boxes. So to do what he's done to Faith Point Harvey, he's a proper dog, by the way. So to do what he's done to him from the 2nd bend was an exceptional run. I know he's come back to him late on, but we saw Faith Point Harvey come from behind to catch Romeo Steele in round 1. JT Craze there just having a little word saying, I'll see you next week. Around the 1st and 2nd bend. But,
cheeky little monkey.
A cracking run for Cheap Sandwiches, 28.65 off a 3.97 split. He's going to have to do that again. But I think they are drawn the right way around. I think we've seen the head-ons. We're going to have a look as well. Cheap Sandwiches moved off from 5 to lane 6. Bocco's Diamond kind of kept his line until he got to the bend. And then, because he's 2 lengths clear, he can dictate where he wants to go. He's chopped the bend then, and that was that.
And to be fair, we see a lot of greyhounds do that, even if they aren't 2 lengths clear. They automatically come in to the bend, don't they? So it is one of those
here.
things. Yeah.
The bend starts quite early here.
Yeah.
So they do it quite a lot here, where they just kind of creep in, probably earlier than you would see at a different track. The bend does start quite early here, so you will see it. Here we go.
Here's Bocco's Diamond coming out of the trap, so you can see he traps out well enough, and he does keep a straight line, as you say, all the way down lane 6 until he's clear, and then shows that track craft. Yeah.
He's 2 lengths clear here, and then he goes, right, I'm going to chop in now and go on a win. Then we're going to see Cheap Sandwiches from 5. A little bit darker later on in the night. Just steps across. The blessing is, Danny, he had Ball Sports Bob in 6.
Yeah.
So he was never going to cause him any problems early on, was he? So, you know, even looking now, JT Craig's in 3, he's in 1 tonight. So he's kind of moved off and kept that straightish line from 3. What's he going to do with Droopy's Buckham? But Cheap Sandwiches there, as we see, moves across to lane 6. Perfectly drawn tonight, both of them.
I'll take full credit for that. No, Kim Sanzone, of course, will be doing the draw live after the show. So, not after the show, after the last race yeah. In the show. I'm so used to saying after the show. Yeah. We've got plenty of people getting involved on the YouTube as well. Great to see you both on this exciting Derby qualifying nap. Danny's nap smacks of desperation. Right, we're on parade time for race number 1, and here is trap number 1, Sunnyside Broxy. 5th in the final last year, Joe's nap, and good battle with Sid in the first round behind a very nice type last week when running on strongly behind Tiffield Tarquin. Here is Righty in trap 2, reached this round last year. He's been a 3-time Cat 1 finalist since, doesn't crack out, but he has been staying on very strongly. Trap 4, One Slick Jamie, solid Irish grader. He's now 1 from 3 in the UK. He stayed on well in both rounds and could keep sneaking through. Trap 5, New in Benny, Sussex Cup winner. Only lightly raced this year, won in the first round but bumped into Keyfield Maverick, who rocketed around the track last week. And Slick Sentinel has lots of speed early, just held on in the first round, was behind Freddie, who impressed last week, and he's still Star Sports' biggest loser. Star Sports, thank you for your sponsorship this evening. We could not bring you the live action on Gone to the Dogs Live without your support, so thank you to Star Sports. You can get split second, get 50% of your stake back as a free bet if your Greyhound finishes second in any Star Sports Greyhound Derby heat. Gamble aware, you must be 18.
And just read the small print, so £50 bet, £25 max refund as well. So brilliant offer, really good offer.
Yeah.
Fair play.
So do check that out with the Star Sports app or go to their website. Nap time.
Yeah, 6 to 4.
Yeah, I mean, at least I've got a nap that's going to be worthy.
Yeah, this was 4 to 1, 7 to 2. It was even 3 to 1 today for most of the day until, unfortunately, Racket All Brute was pulled out early this afternoon. I don't mind it, Danny. You know, it makes the race probably slightly easier for him where he hasn't got that strong running Racket All Brute who's going to be chasing him home anyway. As long as he can hold his line and clear Righty. He doesn't lack a yard of pace, this dog. You know, he doesn't lack a yard to the bend. He done really well to qualify from Trap 4 last week in a good race. Tiffield Tarquin, Barty Bear was in that race as well. He saw him off. Druids All Go, Never Say No. So he ran really well from 4 last week. Much better draw for him in 1 today. And as long as he can get a run at Slick Sentinel, New in Benny, he's a strong dog, made the final last year, goes under the radar with a name change. Sunnyside Broxy, of course, battling Matt Gizmo last year. I always go back to that run, Danny, at Sunderland, the first round of the Grand Prix. You know, New Destiny's popped out, she's led, was only beat a length by her. You know, so not stopping at all. So, yeah, all over Sunnyside Broxy. Hobbsy, what you got?
Thank you, guys. I'm with Keith Alsop, of course, owner of Slick Sentinel. He looked cracking on parade. How'd you feel?
Yeah, well, quietly confident. He's got his trap draw this week, so no excuses, Jonathan.
And having spoken to Patrick earlier, he's been there, seen it, done it. You're a Derby-winning owner, of course, with Thorn Falcon.
Yeah, we're very lucky as well, but it's nice to have a bit of luck in life. Yeah, but like I say, he's looking well tonight. A clean run race, we'll get through. I'll take third now, Jonathan, if you give it me.
Absolutely wise thoughts from Keith Alsop. Back to you.
What a man.
He's great, isn't he?
Oh, brilliant.
What a man. I mean, I think he's got a fair bit, not just riding on the dog itself, but, you know, it's his passion, Keith. We've had him on the podcast as well before, and I think it was one of our longest podcasts we've had. He
was on Fast Forward when he talks. He does talk and talk, Keith. He is one of the best blokes around. He really is in the sport. So, yeah, good luck to Keith with Slick Sentinel. Hopefully he can get through. I'm
going to say as well, Seaside Greyhounds on the YouTube channel. Really been looking forward to tonight's racing. Not felt like this for years.
Oh, superb. Thank you very much.
So, yeah, I hope you enjoy the show as well. We'll be bringing all of the action, the reaction, and Hobbsy will be down near the presentation area just to have a word with Connections as well. as we get ready for Heat 1, round 3. Sorry, I'm like an excited child. 1 and 6, we have joint favourites here. There's plenty of people as well that have been going, yeah, all over trap 1s tonight. And the other end of the spectrum, all over the 6s. So
here we go. Good luck to all 47 left in it. May the best 24 qualified tonight.
Here's PL.
Hare runs. Stand by. This is Heat 1 of the 3rd round of the Derby. Hare behind traps, up go the lids and off and racing, and Slick Sentinel has bombed out the boxes and leads into the turn in front of New In Benny, who's going to turn second. Then comes One Slick Jamie, who got a flyer and has turned in a pitch. In behind these then comes Sunnyside Broxy, and Righty is the back marker at the halfway stage. Into the 3rd turn, and Slick Sentinel, he just loves Toaster, doesn't he? He's booted 3 lengths clear now from New In Benny. And then in behind these comes One Slick Jamie, and running on from the back is Sunnyside Broxy, but up towards the line. 6 wins it. It was tight for second between 4 and 5, but Slick Sentinel has bashed out the boxes and made all for Keith Alsop and Patrick Janssens.
It's a good job we got his kind of thoughts before the race with Keith, because Slick Sentinel, I mean, he absolutely has a love affair with Toaster.
Yeah, Juvenile Classic winner last year. A brilliant performance, I must say. He's absolutely flew out of the boxes there. 5 just missed it slightly. He's done the right thing, Danny. He's come out and he's took New In Benny's ground straight away. 5's tried to move off. And from there, race over, never going to catch him. This dog's getting stronger and stronger. Done the right thing, seeing him out there as well. Just keep him out of the way and let him keep coming away as he does there. We heard Keith say he loves the 6 box. He comes away from flying out 6. Really disappointed Sunnyside Broxy, I must say. He's run a poor race in defeat in 4th day. He's out as well, which is a bit of a blow. But yeah, look, he's won by 4 lengths in the end. Slick Sentinel, fantastic performance. Here's the head on. Oh, he's flew out, hasn't he? You know, and kept that line up until here. You see New In Benny come across the other way. He's just perfectly timed to chop him off into the first bend. Great performance from him. Time will be good.
28.92.
Yeah, good run. Really good run.
I mean, we kind of knew it was all over a little bit with Sunnyside Broxy when he's not trapped, as we know he can. Yeah. And then he's been outstayed. I mean, One Slick Jamie's run a cracker for 2nd, New In Benny for 3rd. I mean, he's only lightly raced this year, but I think he's getting strong with every run that he's having, New In Benny. I know he flashed out in the 1st round in his quickest time, but I think, you know, he might be one of those that can go deep because he does pace up quite well.
He's another dog, Dan. He knows how to win comps. He won the Sussex Cup last year, so he knows how to work his way through these competitions and these rounds. So, yeah, he's there again. You know, connections will say if we don't lead, we might be in a bit of trouble. He's managed to sneak through still, so he's there in the quarter-final.
He is. So we've got our first 3 through. Slick Sentinel, One Slick Jamie, New In Benny, our first 3 through to the quarterfinals. This night, Joe's going to fly by.
It is, it really is. Yeah, there we see Sunnyside, there we see Slick Sentinel, sorry, and One Slick Jamie. Brilliant. Paul Marchant as well, you know, 1 runner left in the comp. He still goes strong. As Darryl always says, you only need 1. You only need 1 runner in the competition. So he's still there with that runner. He's now in a quarter-final. You've seen there, he stays and stays and stays. Keeps doing that. You're going to be difficult to knock out the first 3.
So they are just heading back to the winner's podium with Slick Sentinel. And congratulations to Keith Alsop and Patrick Janssens. I mean, we've spoken to Patrick and he's got quite a strong hand and he'll be absolutely chuffed as mint balls that he's through and got his first winner.
Be delighted. There's a lot of pressure. You know, you get to this stage now and all of a sudden it's, you know, we're 2 runs away now from the final once you get through. But there's a lot of pressure on this now and he's done that really, really well. I must say, a great performance from him.
Right, we can head down to the winner's circle and join Hopsy.
Thank you very much, Danny. Yeah, Patrick Janssens just taking Slick Sentinel to the podium. Fantastic performance from the Keith Alsop trained runner. Just been congratulated there by Toaster General Manager Mick Keneally. They'll be delighted. Patrick, of course, heading into the 3rd round, numerically the strongest trainer left in the competition. Plenty of talk about the Irish trained runners, but very much the home guard being led by the big man at the centre there of the podium. And he's kicked off the 3rd round night in the best possible style. We'll get a chat with him. All smiles. Jim Tate doing all the honours with the pictures, Steve Nash as well. So we're just going to have a quick chat with Patrick. That's a nice start to the evening, Patrick.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, he did everything right from the start, you know what I mean? So, yeah, last week he missed it, this week he pinged it. So, yeah, he's a very good dog. He loves Toaster, he loves Trap 6. So, yeah, fingers crossed, quarterfinals.
He seems to be coming into his best form at the right time, which I think, fair play to you.
Yeah, he didn't run since January. He only had one trial stake here, what he won. Then he won the first round, but it was all sort of scratchy, do you know what I mean? It was never convincing. And then last week, I thought he ran really well in defeat after not leading. And then tonight, you know, he did it from the front again. So, yeah, it's coming good at the right time.
I'll let him get off and have a quick chat with Keith. That was nice, wasn't it? Good performance. Get that one out of the way into the quarterfinals.
Can't have for no more, can we? They've done everything right. He's trapping. Once he traps, like I say, Jonathan, he's a different dog out of 6. Once he come under the bars, they're going to take a good dog to run round him.
And absolutely, to beat Newton Benny to the punch was always going to be key. He's a very fast dog.
That was the key to the race, to be quite honest. We're a bit worried when the 3 were out, because that would have let the inside if we had tangled up. But he done what he does out of 6 anyway, and that were it, away and gone. Catch him if you can.
And although there are perhaps more wide runners through than we anticipated at this stage, the chances are you're going to get the draw that you want.
Well, there's still a few more 6s to go last night, and there's some good dogs in 6, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
A couple of wides going through there, yeah.
But we're through anyway, that's all that counts at this stage.
Keith, go and enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan.
The result is through. Slick Sentinel, Trap 6 beats 4, 1 Slick Jamie, 5 Newin Benny for third, 28.92 the winning time, 13-8 second favourite the winner, 12-1 second, under to 30 for third.
Bet clever, bet good win. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs. Bet good win, bet good win, bet good win.
Sad. Is it conceivable there could be 6 wide-seeded runners in the final?
Be a big price, wouldn't it? I can't see it.
No?
It's purely on something's got to happen for that to go ahead. Yeah, I can't see that. I can see maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Can't see 6.
No?
No.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see who goes through
Cheap
tonight.
sandwiches in 1. Your best one for it would be Bocco's Diamond or Slick Sentinel.
Well, I've always thought the Irish runners usually, because of the way they race over in Ireland and they don't necessarily seed them at the beginning or they draw lots and things like that, they have a bit more track craft, a bit more of a racing brain. For me, personally, that's what I've noticed over the years.
Different for the open race dogs.
Yeah.
The graders, yeah, because they go straight into, well, that's where you go in. Open race is seeded. So if you're with Bocco's Diamonds, Cheap Sandwiches, etc., they're just going to go straight open race, don't they?
Yeah.
So they'll be used to being out there, drawn where they are. But the graded, if you've got, Liam Dowling has loads, doesn't he, where he starts in graded races, so they'll be used to that, where you're drawn is where you're going.
Yeah.
Whereas these ones are a little bit different, where the open races there, they'll just be from where they are. So, Bocco's Diamonds used to. But look, we seen the final there, Danny. There was four wide runners in the final in Ireland, and Cheap Sandwiches was in 3.
Yeah. And
still finished second. The only difference is that Shelbourne is a little bit different over here.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit different. Toaster, completely different kettle of fish to Shelbourne Park. But, Hobbsy, who have you got next?
Thank you very much. Well, you might recognise this gentleman, Joe. Another Keneally in the house, Ryan Keneally, of course, and you're making a big noise at the moment in terms of Barking Mad betting, which is going really, really well. I mean, it's absolutely flying in terms of numbers of subscribers. You enjoying it?
I am really enjoying it, yeah. I don't seem to be enjoying coming Toaster, because every time I come here and I put a bet on, it didn't seem to win. My nap's just gone down there and been knocked out of one of my anti-post bets as well. But I'm really enjoying doing it, hopefully growing the sport. The crowd's brilliant tonight, so hopefully get a really, really good show that you can watch on the Barking Mad Betting YouTube channel.
Fantastic. You're growing into this as well. You're a natural. I never knew this. I knew you could play football and coach football to a very good level, but you're a natural in front of the camera.
I would love to say man of many talents, but no, No. I've got people who know me would guess I'm quite. When I do come to a track and have a bet, I'm quite loud and opinionated anyway. So, the only difference is I've got a camera in front of me now. So yeah, but no, I'm really enjoying it. First few episodes, I was probably a little bit nervous going into it, but now that I'm here and it seems to have gone really well, and people have supported me, I just think, just why not just be yourself, crack on, and have a good time.
Exactly, loud and opinionated. That's like working with Joe.
It is, Joe. Yeah, I think Joe probably gets it from me, in fairness, and then we get it from my dad as well.
Fantastic. In terms of where we are for the rest of the evening, I know disappointment for you in the first heat. Where should we be looking for some of the bigger punts tonight?
So Faye Point Harvey would be my next best. Around about hopefully about 2 to 1, 7 to 4 we have on that. I think the double Bombay Pat, Bucco's Diamond, what a race by the way, but I think that should come in. And I've had a good size bet on Prince Nassim as well. I've had 7 to 1. I think he'll go off around about 4 or 5 to 1. I think that's got a chance. He can turn behind Aladdin. And if he turns behind Aladdin, I think he can pick him up. So yeah, that it will be the one that gets me, that gets my money that I've just lost now and more on top to hopefully have a good night tonight.
And how does it work? You're going to film the content as you're watching the race, and the emotions on your face going to tell the story?
Yeah, so when the race is going on, the camera's on me, but then what I'll do then with the edit then, we'll just take a replay of the race and then we put them all together, and then at the moment the race is going on one side and you've got my face and look of absolute disappointment on the other side, but tonight that will change.
Excellent. You're now a Greyhound racing influencer, so how do people get involved? How do they follow you?
The YouTube channel is Biking My Betting. We're also on TikTok. TikTok's flying, by the way. One of the videos last week's got nearly 300,000 views. So TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Join us there. On YouTube as well, leave loads of comments. I try and interact as much as I can, good and bad. At the moment, quite a lot of bad ones, but it's all part of the game. And yeah, just the whole point of it is to grow ground racing and grow the sport and make not just about me, but make it about the superstars themselves, the dogs.
Top man. Thank you, Ryan, and good luck this evening. Well done.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
He's fulfilled his lifelong dream, Joe, of becoming a Greyhound racing influencer.
I switched off when Obby said he was a good football player. That was it for me. It was
good coach, though, isn't he?
Oh, brilliant! He's a fantastic coach. He really is. He's got a chance of going a really good level. He's at a good club now, Hensford. He just signed a new deal there. They've just been promoted, but he's a fantastic coach. He's a much better coach than he was player. Trust me.
Oh, well, they say, don't they, if you can't do, teach, so
yeah,
there you go.
He's very good, and he's I've got to give him loads of credit. The channel's flying, absolutely flying. So, yeah, massive credit to Ryan. He's doing a brilliant job with that, so long may it continue.
Because it's like a warts and all thing as well, isn't it? He's not just showing, oh, yeah, this is how I win. He's going, oh, well, this is how I lose.
This is the wins, the losses, you know, that's what people want to see. Get more out of when he loses. The views are brilliant when he loses. But yeah, fair play. And no, we didn't do the car together. We had the same nap and the same next best. I literally texted him the other day. I said, by the way, we've got the same nap and next best here, Ryan. So I watched his video, put his video up, and I said, oh my God, this isn't going to go down well at all. So people, if you are watching, we have got different views. I promise you.
Do you?
We do. Yeah, I'm not looking at you, Danny. I'm looking at the next race. We've got different views.
Now we have got the lineup for heat number 2. We'll save you there, Joe. Bombay Pat 4 to 6 at favourite. Droopy's Plunge 11 to 4. 6 is Bubbly Charger. 9 to 1 Glory Lord. 25's Arthur Job, and Ginger's Shelby is at 50 to 1 and is the outsider of the field. Let's have a look at Bombay Pat in action. This was last week from the Stripes.
Yeah, One Stick Jamie in third, who was just qualified again from the first heat, and Prince Nassim in second, who we just heard from Ryan, who's had a decent bet on Prince Nassim at around 7 to 1. So, yeah, look, a really good performance. And we said on the preview, Danny, he's going under the radar, isn't he? Purely because of Bucco's Diamond cheap sandwiches. He's going under the radar, this dog, and he's just going about his business. He's very professional in what he does. But there's always that if factor with people saying he's got that misbreak in him. He's got that misbreak in him. Till he does that, and by the way, he's still capable of qualifying if he does miss a break.
Yeah,
he's got that much early pace and that much middle speed. He can get himself into the race to qualify. So, if's the biggest word in racing. We know that. You know, if he misses a break, if he does that, he's yet to do it. So we can only take him on what he's doing. So far, he's been absolutely faultless.
I mean, he's the third fastest.
Yeah,
28.53 so far,
and was on there twice, top 10 times.
Yeah, because he did 28-8-1, didn't he, in the first round? So yeah, I mean, he's a potential superstar in the making, and like you say, he's gone under the radar because you've got at the top of the market, he's about 8-1, cheap sandwiches, Boccos, and a la-di-da.
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
Right, we are out for a parade for race number 2, and we have trap number 1. Arthur Job Puppy, July 23, third in the Manmore Puppy Derby, was crowded out at the gym crack, has been consistent so far, but has attracted a little bit of trouble early on for Pat Godfrey. But he is sneaking through. He's 2 from 10 so far, with 4 seconds in his career, including both rounds of the Derby. Trap 2 is 11-4, Droopy's Plunge, reached 2 Cat 1 semis. So far, the podcast seems spot on. Oh, Trap 2, Droopy's Plunge, he doesn't parade, he's a nervous type. Hopefully, last week was his last bad break. This is 3, Glory Lord, had 4 wins in Ireland, ran a cracker in the first round behind cheap sandwiches and bumped into Droopy's Trade last week. Trap 4, Bubbly Charger, bronze in the Conan Kirby Memorial, and that form seems to be coming to the fore in the Derby as well. Won well when cracking out last week and making all to beat no better feeling. Trap 5, Ginger Shelby, consistent graded performer at Hove, clung to a place in the first round and ran a career best behind Soleil Mio last week to qualifying 3rd, and there he is. Bombay Pat, Irish Derby semi-finalist, and has bolted in for both rounds so far for Graham Holland. So 2 Irish runners in this, 4 and 6, Puppy in 1, and a very short price favourite at 4-7.
Yeah, and Bet365 earlier, they went 11-10 Super Boost on Bombay Pat. Now, when they do that, we've seen it through Cheltenham, they get them beat.
Yeah.
You know, they really did. They were getting everything beat. You know, at Cheltenham, they'd done it at them Punchestown for their festival. He was 11-10 Bombay Pat. To have however much you can get on, I don't know, but they did go 11-10. Bubbly Charger, he wouldn't want him coming up on his inside. He ran really well last week. He's shown a lot of pace, Bubbly Charger. There's a lot of them in a lot of the Champagne Club in the restaurant. I've been up there and seen them. Steve's here, and there's a big team of them. This was Bubbly Charger last week, beating No Better Feeling, who was in Trap 1, and Barefoot on Fire in 3. So a really good performance. Clona Curly, Crocus Planet Swift Underwater, we lost, but a great performance. A good run for No Better Feeling. He's running later on at a big price as well, and he's a very consistent type for Esther Driver. But yeah, a great performance from Bubbly Charger. You know, 28.93. Big price, 6-1, I must say. Looks a big price. Then you've got your Droopy's Plunge. 3-1 Droopy's Plunge. I'd love Arthur Job to get through. Oh,
so would I. I would love Arthur Job to get through, basically for a bit of compensation for Pat Godfrey as well after the Irish Derby and Arthur Cornflake. But I do want him to get through because he's a puppy, and I really think he's a nice gutsy type as well on the inside. So yeah.
We've said it, haven't we, Danny? We've said at the start of the competition, you know, when we were previewing the first round and after that he just seems that dog who, you know, he'll finish 2nd and 3rd and just keep going about his business quietly, just keep going through. You know, he doesn't have to be flashy. Look, this is huge for Pat Godfrey. Used to be the joke, Paul's worst trainer. I think it was, you know, there was a running joke about that. But, you know, a good operation, the Arthur prefix, and hopefully he can do the business to get through for Pat.
Quite a few people saying 6-4, banker forecast, 6-4-1, maybe the 3 to go through, because we know Plunge is one of those kind of dogs that he's very consistent. Well, not very inconsistent, sorry. Let's go to Hobbsy.
Thank you very much, Danny. I'm with Kim Zanzoni, who's just told me her title, Head of Greyhound Racing Operations for Star Sports. We're halfway through the Derby. It's amazing.
Can't believe it. It's just flown by this year. Each week's getting better and more exciting. Really enjoying it.
Weather's not great, but the crowd's good.
That's it. I mean, it's quite, as you can see by my hair, it's quite blustery, but yeah, great crowd tonight, great atmosphere.
Confirmation the draw after racing or after Heat 8 this evening?
Yes, the draw will take place after the last race, 9:30 in the restaurant this evening.
3 more places up for grabs in this next quarter. 3 places up for grabs in the quarterfinals in this next heat.
Yeah.
Got there in the end. Back to you.
We are almost ready for Heat 2 of the 3rd round of the Star Sports and TRC English Greyhound Derby of 2025. Trap 6, Bombay Pat, 4-7 favourite, 11-4 for Trap 2, Droopy's Plunge, 6 is bar. Here's PL.
A wave of the flag of the hair is on the move for Heat 2 of the 3rd round of the Derby. Hot favourite here, Trap 6, Bombay Pat. Stand by. And away and racing. Bombay Pat missed the kick. First to show was Bubbly Charger, who lead into the turn in front of Droopy's Plunge. Oh, just got dragged back there. And Droopy's Plunge, he is now back in fourth spot as they reach the halfway stage. Bubbly Charger with Bombay Pat now trying to launch a challenge into the third turn. They're well clear of Ginger Shelby. In behind these comes Droopy's Plunge. They turn for the judge now. It's hard work for Bubbly Charger, pressed all the while by Bombay Pat. But he's kicked again. Bubbly Charger makes all. It's a 4-6-2 order. Bombay Pat is beaten in second. Droopy's Plunge qualifies in third.
Well, he didn't quite come away, Bombay Pat, today, and Bubbly Charger has fully capitalised on that, Joe.
He certainly has. 6-1. Big price for a dog who's just getting better and better for each look round here. And, you know, you heard the roar go up there, Danny. The Champagne Club are here. He's shown good early pace. I must say, you'd fancy yourself on Droopy's Plunge. 28.79, a great run. Improved drastically on last week's victory. Done well to qualify Droopy's Plunge. He's closed the gap there, but he would have been a short price going into that first bend where he was going to turn. Don't know what's quite happened there, but Bombay Pat, we said, he's got the miss break in him. Yep. He's got the pace to get in the race and qualify. He's done exactly that. You know, he was always going to struggle then to back run Bubbly Charger, Droopy's Plunge flying home, but a great performance from Bubbly Charger and a real good performance in second as well by the runner-up, Bombay Pat.
So 4, 6 and 2. Here is the head-on. Wow.
Look where one's gone, look where two's gone. He is desperate for one.
He is, isn't he? I think he is quite draw-dependent, Droopy's Plunge. But at this rate, with all the wides going through, he might be all right anyway.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So what do we have there? A middle... Oh, no, a railer, Bubbly Charger, seeded rails.
Yeah.
They want to keep him out there in the middle boxes where he's coming away.
Yeah, I think he's coming away well, and he's not diving into the rail, is he, when he comes out? And it's not as if he's got loads of dogs on his inside either, because a couple of them haven't come away as quick as he has. So it's not as if, you know, he's had to keep himself out straight and wide. He's doing well. So, yeah, big price he was. Well done if you backed him. I hope the people...
365 booster's gone again. It strikes again.
She's a shrewdie, isn't she?
Wish I had 1% of what she's got, Danny.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, can we share it? For Bubbly Charger coming home. Well, Ryan needs to improve his tips. One good thing about tonight, the views will go up. Mad betting.
Definitely will. They definitely will.
So that is Bubbly Charger with Brendan Matthews, I think, heading towards, or maybe not with Brendan Matthews, trained by Brendan, but he's heading towards the winner's podium. I said this last week about a dog that
Damien.
It wasn't the dog.
Damien.
It was just another, well, not a random dog, but it was another dog that I hadn't quite clocked wasn't the winner. So, as I think Billy Brennan's doing the Star Sports stuff. So,
it's Damien on parade there.
Thank you very much.
Bubbly Club will be here. Here they are.
Superb. Oh, they'll be chuffed.
I'll be delighted. What a run.
Right, I think Hobbsy might be down there.
Yep.
Bubbly Charger then has won well.
I'm here.
Heat number 2, so we can go back to Hobbsy.
Thank you very much, Danny. Well, that was a magnificent performance, wasn't it, from Bubbly Charger, running out of Trav 4, and, of course, cheered on by a huge number of members of the Champagne Club syndicate, of course, cheering on Bubbly Charger to victory for the Matthews family. Damien Matthews with Bubbly Charger there. Jim Tate's going to need a wide lens here, because they are all here and going to enjoy this moment, because that was a great effort off the front from Bubbly Charger. Showed all that speed, I'm sure, as you guys said, in that second round heat, but absolutely blasted to the bend once again into hold. Bombay Pat was a great effort, and we'll get a chance once the photos are underway to have a chat with the quite a few members of the team. In fact, let's get an early shout with Steve Fluin. Steve, that was magnificent, wasn't it?
Well, it was lovely to see him come out and beat one of the best dogs in training, and trained by, you know, one of the best dogs in training. Awesome, amazing, but really chuffed, and a nice time too. And Bombay Pat was right behind him. He was right behind him, and I thought, you know, but he just kept going. Very exciting.
Very exciting. You get your picture taken, and we'll have a chat with more of the members of the team in due course. But absolutely superb off the front. All smiles from Damien Matthews. I haven't seen Plunkett here, I'm not too sure. Of course, their father, Brendan Matthews, very much a legend of the Greyhound racing game, a Hall of Famer as well. So big smiles, the biggest smiles possibly yet in the 2025 Star Sports English Greyhound Derby.
I think we won the derby.
And the cheers are ringing out. Exactly, that was superb. Young man, nice to see you. How are you? Did you enjoy that?
Excellent. Yeah, I thought it was a very good run. Works tremendous, Jonathan. And then you can see for all the people here.
How many of you involved? I'm counting about 50 here.
Yeah, we're 50 strong tonight, but as you know more about the Champagne Club than most people. Yeah.
Have you had many greyhounds within the Champagne Club over the years?
Patsy, my part, she's got every one. And then I go back where years ago I used to own dogs with Edna Ware, and would you know it? You'd know it. So yeah.
Exciting to be a part of this?
Brilliant, absolutely. For an old fella, old pension, it really is good.
Doing great, fantastic. Let's have a quick chat with Damien. Damien, that was fantastic. You must be proud.
Jonathan, it's great to see them coming out in the last. There's only 8 heats of the Derby left. To come out the way he came out and take the scalp of a dog like Bombay Pat. Like he's a seasoned campaigner in Ireland. And it's great to come over and beat him. It's no mean feat, to be honest with you. So for the dog to keep progressing, it's all you really want. You just want to be in that hat for next week. And
you are in that hat with probably the biggest fan club, certainly behind us.
Yeah, listen, we have plenty of vocal support. But it's even for that, Jonathan, the industry needs people like Steve Fluhan to get people involved for very little money. And, as I said to most of them there, enjoy the ride, because this is not easy. And any time you come over, you compete in the English Derby, you're privileged. To win the second round and now to win the third round, you're in an elite bunch of people, and I'm delighted for them because they put their money in and they're enjoying the spin.
And this fellow is all class anyway. We saw that at Limerick, the Kirby Memorial, but he's brought that form over to here and some.
When we started him off in the Kirby, he was unraced and we knew he could run. But the progression I'm very pleased with, particularly for the lack of experience he really has, But the step out of the middle boxes there tonight and lead all, I'm delighted. Excellent.
We have no influence on the draw, but any kind of, where would you like to be pitched?
Keep putting me in 4. The middle boxes, I call them the magic boxes. But anyway, listen, whatever it is, we're just delighted to be there.
He is magical at the moment. Fantastic. Good luck, Damien. Great to talk to you. And good luck with Bubbly Charger.
Super Bubbly Charger is through. That Kirby form still coming to the fore. 28.79, 6-1 winner of Heat 2. Beats Bombay Pat, 4-7 favourite in second. Droopy's Plunge qualifies in third at 9-4.
Bet Clever. Bet Goodwin. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs. Bet Goodwin. Bet Goodwin.
Lids fly, they're off. King Memphis last away. Churchfield Sid goes straight to the front. Race to length up to Lardy-Dar. Boyle Sports Bob on the outside from YI Man. Ballymac Gizmo and King Memphis is last as Lardy-Dar hit the front onto the far side. Went 2 lengths up on Churchfield Sid. YI Man the rails. Boyle Sports Bob staying on from Ballymac Gizmo. King Memphis no luck tonight. Lardy-Dar leads in for home off the corner. Striding clear from Churchfield Sid and YI Man. Lardy-Dar wins the Derby.
He could do it again. Lardy-Dar goes in round 3, heat 3. But what I wanted to actually ask you, Joe, is about Bombay Pat. Are we writing him off after that one?
No, absolutely not. He's done what... He's probably come away how people expected him to come away there, because they say he's got that little jink where he just throws in that bad break. Then he only takes down 3 in a row to do what he's been doing before tonight, and all of a sudden you may be looking at a Derby champion. He's missed a break slightly. He's finished second. He's been beaten 28.79. So if you want to rule him out, then all the very best to you, because I'm sure he'll still be third favourite after tonight if Cheap Sandwiches and Bocco's Diamond go through. I'm sure he'll still be there as third favourite behind them, because greyhounds get beat. They're not machines. They're not machines at all. And to still do what he's done there and qualify comfortably in second, he hasn't just hung on, qualified comfortably. Yeah, I wouldn't be putting a line through him whatsoever.
No, well, hopefully that's just his last kind of slightly falter at the lids rise, and we'll go from there. So he'll be back on song next week. He's in good hands with Graham Holland, who knows how to win a derby. Right, let's go back to Hobbsy.
Thank you very much. I'm in good hands as well. I'm with Paul Carpenter, who is a student of the game. He's also part owner of Barntick Bear, running, of course, in Heat 8 tonight. Let's just reflect on Bubbly Charger's performance there. You know, obviously, Steve Flew and all the Champagne Club here. That was a really good effort, wasn't it?
Exceptional, Jonathan. Absolutely exceptional. He did fantastic in to get to the final of the Kirby. Steve and the Bubbly Club have got a nice dog on their hands there, very nice dog, and they've got the right man on the end of the lead in Damien. So yeah, I mean, he could go deep into the derby and very well make the final, but he's raced against a good dog there in Bombay Pat, and to be fair, he's won comfortably. Patrick's dog ran on very well after being knocked back, probably third or fourth going around the second bend, so he's done well to qualify a plunge. But yeah, it was a very good race, and you've got to be impressed with the Bubbly dog.
Absolutely, and well done with of course, Patrick's Stupid's plunge qualifying in the quarterfinals, and it's about qualification. We know that. Now, this is tough for you, Carpo, because you're a big man, but you're quite an emotional man, I think, at heart. So the nerves must be jangling already, and you've got to wait until Heat 8 for the mighty Barntick Bear. You must be pacing up and down like an expectant father.
It's a very long time to wait. Yeah, last week it was easy because we were in the first race, and we didn't think we qualified. We thought we'd won, then we hadn't won, then we got beat, then we hadn't qualified, then we qualified. So the drive home was fine. This week, yeah, it's been tough, Jonathan. Been really tough. You know what I'm like. I've gone through the mill this time. You run it with your head, don't you? You lay in bed, you run it through your head. Will he do this? Will he do that?
How did you run through it in your head last night?
We've got to get past the one dog. We've got to get by Sonic fairly early. Otherwise, I think we're going to be in trouble. Churchfield Sid, what a dog. 4 years old, just an absolute blessing of a dog for an owner, and he's done fantastic, and the boys that have got him are good supporters of the game, and he's been a wonderful dog for the Reese family. What can you say about him? The Irish dog from Pieces, Solomio, I mean, I always thought that was an Elvis Presley song, wasn't it? I can't remember. But he's got great early. He's going to be out and gone. Churchfield is going to be out and gone. You've got Paul's dog, Paul Hennessy's dog in 5. It's a good race, but then again, you don't get easy races in the third round of the Derby.
It's a really good race, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you.
Barntick Bear in the final race of the night. Of course, the track record holder, as it stands, 28.44. I think it's going to go this derby. Whether it goes tonight, I don't know, because we've had a little bit of rain and whatever, but some people say it goes a little bit quicker when it's a little bit wet, don't they? So I don't know that it's going to go tonight. I do think it's going to go in the competition, though.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if it doesn't go in the competition, I must say. But, look, he's a track record holder for a reason. I can see him struggling. I really can. I'd rather have him in with brute early pace in 1 and 3. He's got Solomio in 3, fair enough. Just having Fabulous Sonique inside him. If that was Romford 575, Danny, she's going to lead him to the bend. The only blessing is he does throw in that absolute flyer now and again.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Where he gets himself into a race much earlier. He's going to have to do the same tonight. I know what you're laughing at as well.
Good. I was going to ask if you must. 4 and 5 are missing the parade, so there's 1, No Better Feeling. Second in the Puppy Classic, ran a cracker in the first round, beat Hopes and Palumpa in that occasion, and could hold a good line inside of this Greyhound. Barefoot on Fire, third in the Irish St Ledger. Sat Handy, wasn't beaten far the first round. Slight trouble, saw him behind No Better Feeling last week. Diladi Dar, the reigning champion, won in the fastest time of the comp in the first week and ran a cracker behind Ballinabola Joe last time. Hopes and Palumpa were in Trap 4, likes it here. Trap 6 we'll talk about though, March on Freddie. Puppy Classic winner, Irish Derby semi-finalist, did a lot of running late last week and showed that even though he might not love Toaster, he is still able to win. Now, our thanks to Star Sports, who have kindly sponsored the show this evening, and without them, we would not be able to bring you Gone to the Dogs live. It's the Showtime guarantee. We guarantee to lay any dog to win $5,000 on the show in any Star Sports Greyhound Derby heat. Download the app, visit starsports.bet, call the number on screen. Don't forget to gamble aware and 18 plus, please. Now, our thanks to Star Sports.
No better feeling. That form's been frank.
I like this dog for this race. No better feeling.
Why don't you nap him?
No.
Imagine 50 points on that. You'd be second bottom.
Second bottom. Oh, how dare you. How dare you.
You could have the forecast, 1 and 4, nap that, and be third bottom.
You know what? We're going to watch Balnabola Joe and Delardi Dar finish first and second from last week. Joe.
Yeah, cracking run. Beautiful dog, he really is, isn't he?
He's gorgeous, the fawn flash.
Absolute beauty of a greyhound. And a good run, 28.80, 4.06 sectional, beating Delardi Dar. A lot of trouble in behind that allowed Delardi Dar and Teddy to qualify. But you see here, Danny, he's 5-6 lengths behind Delardi Dar. He closes that to a length and a half. So he's going to have to go clear here, Balnabola Joe, to hold on from some strong runners. March on Freddie out to 6-1. Now, this is the kind of race as well, Danny, where you'd want to be on Barefoot and Fire at 8-1.
Yeah.
And whether you want to trust him at 10-11 that he was last week, probably not. You'd throw a couple of arrows here at 8-1 because he's got all the speed in the world. We saw that in round 1 when he was half length behind Balnabola Joe. So the two dogs that Balnabola Joe's beaten so far, Barefoot on Fire, Delardi Dar, are both in behind him here. They're both in with him. So that could be the tri-cast, you never know, but it's hard to look past March on Freddie qualifying in 6. But all the best again. Hopes Umpa Lumpa and No Better Feeling. They were against each other in round 1. They were first and second. Here's March on Freddie from last week. Great run. Really good run. Seleucus Sennen taking him along, and then it was March on Freddie who turned in a decent enough position, but he's not in with, and no disrespect, Seleucus Sennen's still there. He can't be giving these dogs today a start 4, 5, 6 lengths and beat these, so he's got to be there or thereabouts. Slick Sentinel in third, so all the form, Danny's being frank. You know, Slick Sentinel back in third there. He only hung on ahead in qualifying. He's went and gone and won today. That's how important that third place is. You can do it by a head, a short head, whatever. You're there next week. Slick Sentinel's proven that today.
Cracking run from him as well. We've had plenty here. Trap 5 here, everyone get on. Think 2's a good place bet here. 5 is the nap. Get on the 6 dog here, 1 off the back at last. Thought Delardi Dar was disappointing last week when behind the 5. Trap 5 to beat 6 if 3 doesn't get on terms with 5. So quite a few, and saying I'm laying Freddie here, won't be catching these. So we'll see how it all plays out. There's plenty of angles into this race.
Solid races.
I think it is as well, and I just thought that No Better Feeling might just be able to keep a good line inside here, and you never know. Ran a cracker in both rounds, to be fair. Just about set at Toaster for Heat 3. Here we go.
Hare runs. Heat 3 of the third round of the Derby. Hare behind Trap. Stand by. And away and racing and flashing out the boxes is Delardi Dar. Early pace though is Balnabola Joe to come through and challenge, but it's Delardi Dar that hits the front from Balnabola Joe up on the outside. Just got a little bump there at the second bend, but he is trying to bridge the gap into the third turn. Delardi Dar on the inside, Balnabola Joe on the outside. They clash, and this is allowed 6. March on Freddie to edge closer, along with No Better Feeling coming for home now, and Delardi Dar has kicked again and gone on. Delardi Dar wins it. He's close for second between No Better Feeling and March on Freddie for the qualifying spots, but it got a bit messy there at the third turn, didn't it?
Yes, PL, it did get a little bit messy. Hopefully Balnabola Joe is all okay, but Delardi Dar back to his very best.
And No Better Feeling has got through as well in second, and do you know what? To hold off March on Freddie, a big run from him, I must say, and he's run really well. He's run really well, but when he's come away like that, we said, Danny, after half a yard, he's trapped. He's had to work hard, though, because Balnabola Joe has not given him a sniff from that first bend onwards. He's with him the whole way. You know, going into this third bend now, you're just thinking here, just get a clear run, please, and let's see. They come together slightly, but he still managed to be in front at that stage, which was so important to him. March on Freddie's in second here and gets outrun by No Better Feeling. You know, he's got up for second in the M1 and a cracking run. A really good run from him. As the driver, the dream continues into a quarter-final with No Better Feeling. We'll be wanting track 1 again in that. Just seeing the draw, you see 4 edging in there. That was Hopes Umpa Lumpa moving to the rail. Delardi Dar's kept a straight line. and done that really, really well. Didn't hear the time though.
28.83.
28.83, good run. Really good run after finding a little bit of trouble as well.
I don't know if I'm disappointed or not with March on Freddie's run, because for me, when he's turned this handy and it's not like he's got into loads of bother, Delardi-Dar's got into a little bit of bother and he's stayed on strongly, and you'd think at this point, nailed on for second. Just at that point, I thought, March on Freddie, nailed on for second, if not picking up Delardi-Dar. And the fact he's actually been outrun for second place for me just leaves a couple of question marks for me, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, possibly. You know, David will say he's there. And I've got another week now to work my magic, and, you know, he's in the quarter-final. You know, that we say about these dogs, he's just going about his business quietly. Keep getting through. You can see the smile there on Esther's face as well. She's got hopes Umpa-Lumpa there, but no better feeling in the second. And, you know, great story for them. Took over the licence recently for Paul Salis. What a brilliant story that would be to keep qualifying.
Go on, lad. I had faith. No better feeling, has qualified, but it's all about the champ, Delardi-Dar. I mean, people were trying to lay him tonight, and yes, maybe to the eye, I thought it was impressive last week, and I actually thought it was a better run last week than it was in the first round because he had to overcome trouble. Tonight he's had to do the same, and you just know that what you're going to get with him, he's a proper competition dog who knuckles down, battles well, and he's a belter.
Yeah, just watching him here, just making sure he's all right. He's...
You okay? Ooh. Are we just trying to find a lead?
Let's have a look. That isn't good to see. Hopefully a bit of cramp.
Yeah. Because you can't, you know, these dogs do a very quick run. 30 seconds all there, well, 28 seconds.
Hobbsy will tell us more.
Don't go away. Yeah. Well done, Liam. Good work, mate. Yeah. Well, that was quite sensational performance, wasn't it? From the reigning champion, Delardi-Dar, that grip tightening ever so much on that magnificent trophy. A brilliant winner of the Star Sports English Greyhound Derby 2024. And the reigning champion seems to be in the form of his life, which is almost a ridiculous statement to say, given that he took away the £175,000 prize last week. But I'm going to ask that question of Liam. This is as good a performance in such a fantastic heat as Delardi-Dar has just produced. I'm just going to get a quick word. Liam, sorry, sir, thank you. Liam, that's magnificent. A little bit of coming together with Ballymaloe Joe. It was a magnificent buckle to watch at that stage. He looks okay.
Yeah, he looks fine. Look, he's a wee bit nervous of the crowd really coming back there, but it was a brilliant race. He snapped out. I think Pat's dog just it came from behind him, started the bin. Ran a great back straight, both of them. There was some coming together, but Pat's dog was coming tighter. This fellow that was pushing wide, I couldn't say. But look, we're in the hat for the last 24, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, absolutely. He's as good as ever, if not better, Liam. Could I venture that?
Some people were saying he was finished, but I didn't think so. But at the same time, I think he's as good a dog as yes. He's as interested as ever. He's very keen, and look, there's a bit of luck from here on in, as you know, Jonathan. But once he's there, we don't really particularly mind after that.
And that was a tough heat tonight. Wasn't easy. He had pace inside, pace outside. Had to do everything right.
It was a very sticky race. I was a wee bit nervous about it myself, but there was 4 or 5 great dogs inside in that race. But he had to do everything right, which he did, and that needed to be done because otherwise he was in trouble. But look, he's as keen as mustard. Still going strong. He's a fresh enough dog. I mean, we haven't overrun him this year, so I think he's coming away nicely.
And although he was beaten by Ballymaloe Joe last week, he did a lot of running in behind after probably not the greatest of break.
No, he missed the kick last week, so hence he got it right this week. But look, that pup is a real good pup by Pat, and I think there were 6 or 7 lengths down the back straight. He ran him down well. Again, Pat's dog is a pup, so you would expect that he's going to turn a bit, but this dog, you know, there's no excuses. He's this place like the back of his hand. He's a seasoned campaigner. He has age. Still there.
Finally, all draws seem to come alike to him, to a certain extent.
Say again, John, sorry?
All draws seem to come alike.
Yeah, well, you'd like to see him from 1, 2, 3 in, you know, that'd be my hope for him. But look, he's his game. He's a game dog, and great dog to settle and relaxed dog, rests himself well during the day, and you can't really ask more. He's a bit of a professional as far as I'm concerned, but, you know, we need a bit of luck from here on in.
We'll wish you well.
Thank you, John. Cheers.
28.83, Deladi Dar, the reigning champ, has won his third round heat, 6-4 favourite. No Better Feeling qualifies in second at 28-1, and March on Freddie has got a quarter-final spot at 9-2.
Bet Goodwin, proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
You stop me like a red light.
Bet clever, bet Goodwin.
They go, and starting brilliantly, it's Daytime Nemo who's leading up to Romeo Command, and then back in third place we've got Kachis. There's trouble in behind. Torch Rex is involved with that, with Clona Duke and Ninja Carrion up front. It is Daytime Nemo stretching clear here by about 3 lengths to Romeo Command in second. Then we've got Torch Rex trying to rally, but it's Daytime Nemo who's out in front here from Romeo Command in second. Kachis is staying on for a place, but up front it's going to be Daytime Nemo.
I do love watching the old derbies back. I know that was only a couple of years ago. And that was our Jason Beresford as well. He will be back for next week, so don't you worry about that. But we have got, I think, Hobbsy running around outside. Who have you got this time, Hobbsy?
Well, I've caught up, thanks, Danny, with George Watson, owner of March on Freddie, who has marched on into the quarterfinals of the English Round Derby, which was certainly the first priority, George. But what happened around that third bend? You were coming to win it, but you had the reigning champion in front. It was never going to be easy.
It was never going to be easy, but from where we were, it looked like we were a lot closer this week. He certainly ran a lot better this week. And I thought going out that third bend that we were there or thereabouts. Not saying we would have picked up Deladi Dar. We would have got closer, though, than we did. And then I suddenly see him check himself, and you're just hoping that you qualify. Then you're looking behind you, but he got himself back together and, you know, done the job well.
And he seemed to be fine as he walked through here, and
fine, yeah.
And he seems to be coming back to something like his best.
Yeah, I mean, once when we were at Central Park before, we just see glimpses that he started to show signs of what he was back end of last year. And then coming here, it has taken him a few runs to get going. The juvenile was obviously a hard race, but he never really showed up. And then he's just slowly starting to come together, and that was the best I've seen him run. I know, obviously, he didn't win, but he was there or thereabouts, so happy with that and pleased to be into the next round.
And people who follow March on Freddie's career will know, of course, that he was a semi-finalist in the Irish Derby last year. And that seemed to be, towards the end of it, like a struggle in many ways. This seems to be every single week you get better.
Yeah, and hopefully long may it continue, but he is slowly coming forward. I think Dave's just got him ticking over. He's in with a new bitch, and we just try a couple of other things just to try and get him back going right, but he done well tonight. I was very pleased today. I mean, I really thought we were coming to win it going around that last bend until whatever happened. But, yeah, he ran well. I'm happy.
Ran well, and we wish you well in the draw, of course. Looking forward to that.
Yes. Is that tonight? Oh, I'll be waiting then. Yeah.
Stick around.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
Yeah, the draw, of course, will be shown live here on the show after the final race of round 3. Just saying as well, there's quite a few people that are backing Freddie now to win the Derby.
You're not one of them, after what you've just said.
No, I just don't think it was the best run from him, you know. And I've spoken to Dave Mullins a couple of times about March on Freddie, and he said yes, yeah. And he says, you know, he's one of these dogs that does like to have a bit of consistency with where he runs, so he'd like to be at a track for a few races. He's not necessarily one of those that's going to flash out at different tracks for different opens. But I just thought tonight, for me, he should have been picking up No Better Feeling. He should have been getting closer to Deladi Dar. And yeah, I mean, I'm no judge, but I wouldn't be backing Freddie.
Just pleased as well, Danny, that Deladi Dar, that was just a little bit maybe being spooked by the crowd. You know, we weren't sure. That's why we went a little bit quiet in here. So apologies, people, if they were wondering what was going on. When you see the dog do that and win, then you see him getting picked up. We can't hear anything, so we don't know. So we're delighted that it is just a little bit that he might have been spooked by the crowd, and he is okay. That's fantastic news.
Oh, it's the best news of the night, because we were both we were trying to continue to speak because that's what we're supposed to do here, but at the same time, you know, we are dog lovers. We are, you know, we care a lot about the Greyhounds, and the fact that he was just looking a little bit leery was a bit like, oh God, he's the Derby champion. You know, nothing can go wrong. And heartening to hear that the crowd. We've got a few people here though, Joe, so that's good news.
Yeah, and rightly so. There shouldn't be any reason why we shouldn't have on a Saturday, third round of the Derby. It should be busy. So, you know, that's just what it should be. It should be busy, and Hobbs is caught up with some of them.
Thank you very much, Joe. I'm with Stephen Power, otherwise known as the racing blogger. Good to see you at the dog, Steve. How you doing?
I'm good, Jonathan. Good to see you. I was very lucky to see Bocco's Diamond win over in Shelbourne Park, the Irish Greyhound Derby. The atmosphere was electric. They were saying he's the Frankel of the Greyhound racing, of the horse racing, basically. So it's good to see here tonight, and I hope we can see something special. Some people are saying it could break the track record or do something marvellous, so it's exciting.
And you were there that famous night in the grandstand there. I mean, that's unbeatable atmosphere, Shelbourne Park and Irish Greyhound Derby final night. You're going to be back here for the final, let's hope?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm working in France the next day, so logistically it's quite tough, but I'll 99% be here. But that atmosphere in Shelbourne that night, it was the first time I went greyhound racing, and I got so close to a dog, which everyone seems to have goosebumps about, that made me actually think about the sport in a different way. It kind of reminisced the horse racing side of it, with form and all the great horses, Group 1 horses, etc. So there's a bit to it, and there's a lot to learn, but yeah, exciting.
The sport needs superstars.
It does, absolutely. Every sport needs a great horse or greyhound or athlete or footballer to bring it alive, because they bring the crowds in, don't they?
Absolutely. Now, you do like a short shot. Are you going to be piling in at all tonight on Bocco's Diamond?
£3,000 here. Can I show that on camera? We've got the £3,000 in readies there, boys. Jerry, who's a professional punter, I'm sure you know Jerry. He told me don't do it. It's a mugs bet. You don't do stuff like that. Everyone else has said you lump on, so I don't know what to do now. Yeah.
Fantastic. How's your team for next season? You didn't do too bad, the Arsenal. Come on.
It's Mikel Arteta's final chance. He has to deliver. He's had 7 years now, and my patience are starting to wear thin.
Okay, and you recovered from what happened in midweek with the North London rival?
Fair play to them. They had their moment. They beat the worst team in the Premier League. So if that makes you a champion, enjoy it.
Hey, I'm a Chelsea boy. Right, Stephen, lovely to see you. Keep up the great work, yeah, and good luck.
Cheers. Nice one, mate. Thanks.
He is a
character. Get it on. Get more responsibly, but get it on, blogger. We're all behind you.
We are. Bocco's Diamond for Heat 4. Cannot wait for this clash. 5-2 Cheap Sandwiches, 12-1 for JT Craze and Droopy's Bookham, 25 Slaker Sennett and Kevin's Rocket at 50-1.
He's a good character, you know. And
the blogger. He's a Marmite character.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think he's fab.
Absolutely Marmite. You can love him, you can loathe him.
Yeah.
But I'm in the loving camp, I must say. He's good, and look, whatever content and exposure we can get for the sport, we need. And he's got a big following. You know, he's got a massive following. He's obviously with a code that was 50% off with him, sold plenty of tickets through that. So people see what he does. They see his work. And if we can keep getting people like him and Basher, etc., the more the merrier, because it's brilliant. And the fact that he was at Punchestown and our friend Gail May just went, you know what you should do tonight, blogger? Come to the Derby final at Shelbourne. And he did. Yeah. He just turned up and went, all right then, and had a great time. And now he's, you know, loving life and here at Toaster. Fabulous. Right, this is the big one. The big race of the night for the majority of people, to be fair. JT Craze, Easter Cup semi-finalist, won his first round heat, beaten by the Irish Derby. Second, though, Cheap Sandwiches last week. Finished strongly, though, from off the pace, did JT Craze for Paul Hennessy. Trap 2, Droopy's Bookham held his own with JT Craze in the first round. There was only a length between them. And I did think he impressed last week when he beat a nice early pace type in Droopy's Aladdin. I think one of the leads was having a bit of a moment there with JT Craze. There is Droopy's Bookham, Tom Heilbronn's main chance of a Derby winner, he says. Certainly his Derby dog here this evening. However, Deliveroo is in later. Just that 3 runs, that's 3 UK runs as well, that it says on there, not Irish runs included. Slaker Sennett reached the second round last year. He's in the third round today. Ran well to pace set against March on Freddie last week. There's Kevin's Rocket. He's been consistent at Hove. He reached the Olympic semis. Had a tough task last week, but it was a cracking effort behind Bocco's Diamond. Is he the fastest dog on the planet? Well, it was a superb run last week and second fastest time by just 1 spot. And Cheap Sandwiches, well balanced.
dog who runs toaster bends particularly well, won well on slow ground in the first round and went 6 spots quicker last week. This, Joe, oh my God, I can't wait.
What's your qualifying situation here, Danny? Is it straightforward as 5-6 something else?
Yeah, I think 5-6-2 for me.
I'm 5-6-1.
Because I really enjoyed Droopy's Bookham's run last week. If he gets a clear, I think he's quite a strong runner. He's not had too much racing, and I was quite taken with Droopy's Bookham last week.
Do you think he can batter in JT Craze if he's in front of him? I don't think he can.
No. So it is whether or not he leads. Yeah. If he leads JT Craze, I think Bookham's in the quarters. Right, we've got Hobbsy in the betting ring.
BG Racing. Thank you very much, Brian Hogarth from BG Racing. Are you taking any of these on? Bucko's, cheap sandwiches, what's going on?
What's going to beat them? I've took them both on. Our bogey's this at the minute. I've laid 25 to 1 it. Okay. Can we get a bit of trouble with 5 and 6? I don't know. Probably not. But we'll give it a go. Got to get out of trouble somehow.
Has it been like that?
Yes. It's A or B. Yeah. A or B. There's no joker yet. I am hoping, though. I'm very hopeful.
A few more quid around tonight?
Yes, it's the busiest it's been so far. But I'm not keeping the money, Jonathan. I'm not keeping it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to Brian and the crew, BG Racing.
So, good that there's plenty of people with the readies. Readies, is that a 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, readies is just cash, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Bring the readies.
To be ready to bet kind of thing, or just...
Hear it, don't you? Bring plenty of readies.
No.
Harry Finley said it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Be a blogger, I've got the readies.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I was like, what? I thought that maybe it was the 20s or something. I don't know.
3 grand at 25 to 1, so Lakers Senate instead, 25 to 10. Because that is an absolute plunge.
I mean...
18 to 1 Buckham.
He's very quick. 4:01 split last week would lead all bar the outside two. So...
Not good early this time.
Not out of the realms of possibility for Lakers Senate to just crack out, and if there's a bit of a tangle between Craze, Buckham and Rocket, you know, Kevin's Rocket I think is up against it. He ran his little heart out last week to qualify. I just think he's in with... You know, he's in with 2, Bocco's Diamond and Cheap Sandwiches, but I think he's in with another couple, JT Craze and Droopy's Buckham, that are just going to outstay him.
Which one's Rachel walking, which one's Nikki? Nikki's got 5, Rachel's got 6.
What does that tell us?
Not a lot.
Well, this is a cracker.
Here we go.
I can't wait for this. I've been waiting for this all week. Since I did the draw, I literally did the draw last week, and I've drew those out against, well, Kim drew them out against each other, and I was like, oh, this is race on.
I've got 3 left anti-posts now. I've got Romeo Empire and 2 in here. JT Craze, Cheap Sandwiches. Come on, let's get them through. But clean race, and let's see the best dogs go battle.
Plenty of people saying goodbye to the clock here. Hope 5 and 6 just both get through. Nice clean race. So fingers crossed we can get the 2 from the Irish Derby, 1-2 into the quarterfinals. Here we go. It's PL.
So last one goes in, hot favourite here in Trap 5, Bocco's Diamond. And his kennelmate Cheap Sandwiches is second best. Hare approaches, heat 4. And they're away and racing, and Cheap Sandwiches has come out well. Bocco's Diamond is showing good early dash into the turn and clears Lakers Sennan, who just dragged back JT Craze, and he's last now down the far side. Bocco's Diamond showing his gears and going 2 lengths clear of his kennelmate Cheap Sandwiches. Second, they're well clear of Lakers Sennan. Then comes Droopy's Bookham, who's trying to get past and look for a way to qualify. As they turn for home, it's Bocco's Diamond with a 1.5 length lead, and sees it out. Bocco's Diamond just from Cheap Sandwiches, who lunged near the line to force a photograph.
My goodness me. That was the race we wanted to see. Oof. I mean, 2's through. Droopy's Bookham, we know, is through for 3rd. I thought it was 5 to hold 6. I'm not going to lie. I think he's won. But the amount of running this lad, I love Cheap Sandwiches. He's just...
If they're drawn the other way around, does he hold him to the bend?
Yeah.
First Trap 5 there.
5-6-2. Yeah, we've just got it confirmed. So 5-6-2. Bocco's Diamond, Cheap Sandwiches. It's a lot closer than they were in the Irish Derby.
Head?
God, not even a head, I don't think.
Short head?
if they could do such thing as a nose, because the Greyhound nose quite long. 5, 6, 2 confirmed. So those 3 are through. You look at the head-on. Cheap Sandwiches again coming slightly right out the boxes. 5 stuck a great line.
Slightly there, Bocco's Diamond. He seemed to come away level with Cheap Sandwiches, and then just took a. He might have took a false step, but that pace to the bend is just 28.84 after missing the brake light. And what a running behind, 28.85
or 28.86, something like that, yeah.
Behind, yeah. These are just sensational Greyhounds. They really are. You know, you look at the gap back to third. Like, he's a good dog, Droopy's Buckle.
Yeah, he is.
He's been beat 6 lengths by him.
There has been a little bit of trouble in behind, so I think maybe the distance is a slight exaggeration, but I'd only say 4 lengths that they probably won by rather than the 6. I wouldn't say that he'd have got a lot closer than that. Do you know what I mean?
The trouble was JT Craze with Senan and Kevin's Rocket. He's missed that, and that's what's got him through in the end. He's chasing the right dog. Yeah. Droopy's Buckham in Suleika's Senan. So, yeah, look, just a fantastic race, and that's the race that we wanted to see.
Yeah, we did. I mean, the Graham Holland team, they have got 2. The thing is, as well, for Cheap Sandwiches, I mean, who knows what the future holds in the next couple of weeks, but to be on the scene at the same time as a kennel mate so good as Bocco's Diamond, you've got to slightly feel for them.
And Bombay Pat.
Yeah. Because they're all so good, and only one of them can win the Derby or, you know, the big competitions, can't they? So it is...
They'll just be praying that they miss each other in the quarter-final draw.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want them to be in there again. You want them to both have 6 in the quarter-finals and then see what they're in with. But, yeah, a cracking performance.
Well, I would say Cheap Sandwiches probably definitely want 6. Bocco's Diamond, I think I'd be quite happy with 4, 5 or 6, depending on where... depending on obviously the draw of who's in between on the inside of him, but Hobbsy, that delivered everything that we wanted it to.
I think this Greyhound Derby just continues to deliver, Danny. It was astonishing to see them go head to head. You fear the worst when you see the top 2 in the market, especially kennel mates, side by side, and you think, well, just the first 3 qualifying. Then you saw the head-ons and you think, actually, there's a chance these 2 can run their races. They're drawn the right side, and really they should finish first and second. You never quite think it's going to happen. What a fantastic buckle they have produced. I thought Delardi-Dar and Ballinabola Joe was something else. I think that takes the biscuit or the sandwiches, doesn't it? Because that was astonishing. It must have been a good race, because Ben Keith, of course, of Star Sports, has come down for the presentation. Good friends, of course, of Graham Box and Bev Lockhead. And they'll be all thrilled. Nicky Holland with the winner, but fair play to the runner-up, because he has played his part in a quite sensational 3rd round heat of the Star Sports English Greyhound Derby. We'll get a chat with the main protagonists at some point. Have a chat with Ben as well. They looked as if they still paying out behind me. I know it was a very good result, it seemed, for Star Sports in the previous race. Brian of BG Racing was saying that he was willing to take them on. Was there a chance of a result? Well, as it was, there wasn't, because the favourite has obliged, and all smiles there. And Bocco's Diamond has some big fans in Greyhound racing, probably none bigger, though, than this man here. I'm going to chat with Ben. Ben, just have a quick word once pictures are taken. I was just saying that Bocco's Diamond's got a huge fan club, and one of his biggest fans is you.
Definitely so. I mean, look, by luck, not judgment, I've thought so far. I've just kept thinking that I can, as a bookmaker, I want to be laying things as cheaply as possible. And look, maybe I've been a bit lucky, but I think Delardi-Dar was very impressive earlier, as I'm sure you do, Hobbsy. I thought he was going to get headed, and on he went. He was strong again. You know, Bocco's, as a bookie, round by round, he's a dog that naturally a bookmaker wants to lay, because he misses then goes. Do you know what I mean? So come final night, or maybe sooner, I'll want to lay, but I've just think like I've made a book round him so far.
I was going to say, you've ducked him, you've respected him in many ways.
I never bet to an opinion, but I just feel that also it would be wonderful for the game. This is the star we're waiting for. We had Ballarigan Bob with Skirlow Champ at the same time. You know, then Westmead Hawk came along. This is the best this is the best derby in well, in all the time I've sponsored it, and it would be fantastic for the sport if Bocco's Diamond won again, with the support of Mike Davis, toasters gleaming, and look, come on Bocco's Diamond.
It's great to hear from you, Ben. We're going to have a chat with Bocco's Diamond. And Ben is absolutely right. You know, we've got a situation, guys, where we've got the English Derby champion from last year and the Irish Derby champion from last year in the quarterfinals of the Derby, which I think from a purist point of view is something that we could only have dreamed of. Graham Box, of course, you know, this has been some week for you, of course, big Crystal Palace fan. You won the FA Cup, brandishing the flag last week. Tremendous for the Eagles, of course, but that was also quite sparkling, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an absolute brilliant run. Don't know what happened at the start after he watched it. It looked like he stumbled a little bit. And then to take off and beat 6 to the corner after missing it, some run.
I mean, when the draw came out, we were just discussing it in the studio. Did you fear the worst, or it's not ideal, the two kennel mates going against each other?
No, I've been lumping on him all week. I thought he would win. The draw didn't bother me at all.
Any rivalry between you guys and the Cheap Sandwiches owners? I don't know who they are, but I'm sure they're around.
No rival whatsoever. The best dog will win on the day. There was only a length between us in the final in Shelbourne, so we was expecting a close run.
I might follow you upstairs. You're going to have to introduce me to them anyway. We'll have a chat with them because they're also in the quarterfinals of the Derby, and he ran a great race in defeat. There wasn't a lot between them.
Yeah, no, nothing between them. I don't even know if they're here. You have to ask Nicky. I haven't seen them yet, so yeah, good luck. We need a draw now, don't we? Hopefully we get 6 in the next round.
That's it, Graham. Good luck. All the best, of course.
What I tell you, my son?
What a race, what a race. 5, Bocco's Diamond holds off Cheap Sandwiches again in trap 6. 2, Droopy's Bookham through for third. 2-1 on favourite, 11-4 and 18-1 in a time of 28.84.
Bet clever, bet good win. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs. Bet good win, bet good win, bet good win.
Heavy behind traps, up go the lids and off and racing, and Slick Sentinel has bombed out the boxes and leads into the turn in front of Newey and Benny, who's going to turn second. Then comes One Slick Jamie, who got a flyer and has turned in a pitch. In behind these then comes Sunnyside Broxy, and Righty is the back marker at the halfway stage. Into the third turn, and Slick Sentinel, he just loves Toaster, doesn't he? He's booted 3 lengths clear now from Newey and Benny. And then in behind these comes One Slick Jamie, and running on from the back is Sunnyside Broxy, but up towards the line. 6 wins it. And away and racing. Bombay Pat missed the kick. First to show was Bubbly Charger, who lead into the turn in front of Droopy's Plunge. Oh, just got dragged back there. And Droopy's Plunge, he is now back in 4th spot as they reach the halfway stage. Bubbly Charger with Bombay Pat now trying to launch a challenge into the 3rd turn. They're well clear of Ginger Shelby. In behind these comes Droopy's Plunge. They turn for the judge now. It's hard work for Bubbly Charger, pressed all the while by Bombay Pat, but he's kicked again. Bubbly Charger makes all. It's a 4-6-2 order. Bombay Pat is beaten in 2nd. Droopy's Plunge qualifies in 3rd. And away and racing and flashing out the boxes is Deladi Dar. Early pace though is Ballybola Joe to come through and challenge, but it's Deladi Dar that hits the front from Ballybola Joe up on the outside. Just got a little bump there at the 2nd bend, but he is trying to bridge the gap into the 3rd turn. Deladi Dar on the inside, Ballybola Joe on the outside. They clash, and this is allowed 6. March on Freddy to edge closer, along with No Better Feeling coming for home now, and Deladi Dar has kicked again and gone on. Deladi Dar wins it. He's close for 2nd between No Better Feeling and March on Freddy for the qualifying spots, but it got a bit messy there at the 3rd turn, didn't it?
Oh, what a night we've had so far. But the race of the night was the one that we've just seen between Bocco's Diamond and Cheap Sandwiches. And you know what, Joe? I want to see it again.
Just want to see slowly out of the boxes what he does do. Heard Graham say as well, that maybe just stumbled. And if you look closely,
yeah,
it just takes a little... Just his back legs go slightly, but then look at that pace. I mean, to go and do what he's done there. You know, Cheap Sandwiches again, he's run the bend extremely well. He's just got Bocco's Diamond in front of him, and he's only ever a length and a half clear of him. You know, and he closes that gap to a short head ahead in the end, and just a cracking run, it really was. And well done to Droopy's Buckham with Tom Hilbron and the guys qualifying back in 3rd as well, comfortably 3rd, and just ahead on again here. We said they were drawn the right way around,
There he
Danny.
is.
Yeah, you see him come down. He comes down
Just comes slightly on his belly, Annie.
and still leads round the bend.
I'm
is
waiting to see
sensational.
what the split is. The fastest one we've had so far, Slick Sentinel, 396 tonight.
I'd say that's about a 4:02.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely over 4. 399 for Delardi Dar, so that's one of his better breaks for
4:02,
sure.
4:03, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, it won't be under 4, I don't think,
No.
just because of...
Cheap sandwiches might be.
Yeah,
Let him
maybe.
in.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Right, so let's have a look at the next heat, shall we? Because we are still going through the third round and we've got trap number... Oh, I was having a look at the bet and then going, there's no favourite. Joints. Droopy's Aladdin and Romeo Tomcat, 3-1, 7-2 Keyfield Maverick. It's 4-1 Prince Nazim, 6-1 Fay Point Susie and Ballymac Tibet at 8-1. Oh, the Star Sports app. Download our app, search Star Sports in the App Store or Star Sports Bet on Google Play. All the sports, all the action, all the odds are thanks to Star Sports. Don't forget, you have to be 18 plus and do be gamble aware. Right, we have got our next race coming up, which is one of the more open of the night. I mean, the story for me in this race, Joe.
I know you're going to say Fay Point Susie.
Yes, I am. Because obviously she's won both rounds this year. She's one of the unbeaten dogs in the Greyhound Derby so far. She's reached the third round. That's the furthest she's gone. That was 2 years ago. So can she go one step further? We can have a look at her here in action because she was superb from box one. She popped out, she made all, she didn't see another rival, and for me, she just digs deep, this bitch. I think she's one of those quite jealous types that when dogs are coming out of quarters, she's like, no, I'm off again.
Yeah, this was a good run. Deliveroo was in 6. Says Ballymac Tibet on there, was Deliveroo in 6. Fabulous Sonique in 2nd. And a really good run from her. You know, she's game, she's gutsy. She's had a babby. She had a little pup.
Midnight.
She's very gutsy there, and we've seen that from her there. So a great run from her. She's got a tough draw though, and so much early in this race. Prince Nassim, he was 7-1 earlier. He's now 4-1. So Ryan got that right. Droopy's Aladdin. I'm fairly sweet on Droopy's Aladdin. I thought 7-2 was a decent price. He's still 3-1. We saw Michael Burton earlier having a bite to eat, and you know, just saying that he's. We warned him about the head-on because they were saying in round 1 that we think he's gone straight from 3. We said, you certainly haven't gone straight from 3, you've gone left. And he's shown that there, but I think he's got the most early in the race. I think he'll trap and lead and win.
Here's Prince Nazim, 8 wins in Ireland for Sean Conways, with Maxine Locke now, was well held by Bombay Pat last week, who's ran a cracker in defeat tonight, to be fair to him. And he's still yet to win in the UK. He is 3-1 co-favourite now. We've got Trap 2, one of 3 puppies in the field. Droopy's Aladdin took a big scalp in the first round with proper ARS and was beaten by a strong running type last week in Droopy's Bookham, who is through. Trap 3, Romeo Tomcat, burst onto the scene at Central Park. It was a close second in the first round and he dotted up last week. He's another puppy, June 23. Trap 4, there she is, absolute stunner, Fay Point Susie. Third round, the 2023. Second round, 2024, was 4th in the Derby Plate. Dug deep to win both rounds so far. Trap 5, Keyfield Maverick, bolted up last week and was impressive to the eye. 3 spots off his quickest time here. Ballymac Tibet, the other puppy, August 23, 2 from 5 in Ireland, reached the second round of the Kirby. Slow to go, but he stayed on well last week despite a little bit of a crowd. So Ballymac Tibet is going to be on the back foot early at 8-1, but you wouldn't rule him out. I definitely wouldn't be ruling out Fay Point Susie if she just manages to hold her own into that first bend. For me, though, it was Maverick. Really like him. Go on.
404 sandwiches, 407 Bocco's Diamonds.
There you go, yeah. We thought it'd be just over 4, didn't we? So, good efforts from the pair of them. Thank you for that. Keyfield Maverick is my pick here. Who was yours again?
2, Droopy's Aladdin, thought could lead.
Oh, yeah.
All the way. I think he's got most early in the race if he traps. Didn't really come away last week with Droopy's Bookham, and what he missed the break is what he got beat in the end, really. He got beat, was it a length in the end from a length by Droopy's Bookham, and we've seen him staying on strongly there again to qualify. So, yeah, 2 for me. 1, Prince Nassim has got good early. He's now drawn inside, so he has got to track cleverly here, Droopy's Aladdin. He's got to come away and get a run, but Romeo Tomcat was ever impressive last week. But could the race suit Ballymac Tibet on the outside, who stays well You know, only August 23, so we'll be staying on, as we've seen in the competition. Wide open race, Danny. This is a solid third round heat. When it's 11-4 the field, not too often you get that this round. So,
no.
Yeah, a solid race this is, and loads of money for Prince Nassim. Open 4-1 into 11-4.
And he was 7-1.
Yeah.
It's all Ryan.
We'll see Ryan. We'll see Barky Mad Bedding if he goes round in front.
You will hear him in here if he goes round in front. We've got plenty of people here. The Prince ran a monster race last time, but needs luck. Trap 3 here. Trap 1 track record holder at Kilkenny has this one, maybe. Do or die for me this race, all down to trap 5. So, yeah, I think we've got quite a few in here that, you know, there's a lot of difference of opinion because you just look at the betting. 11-4 the field, 1 and 2, 3-1 3, 9-2 5, 8-1 6, and 9-1 for trap 4. And thank you to everyone that's answering the little questions that we've had along the way as well. Here's PL.
He's on the move for Heat 5 of the Greyhound Derby. Hare approaches. And they're off and racing. Fairly level line between Keyfield Maverick and Droopy's Aladdin into the turn. And it is on the outer Keyfield Maverick. The nose is ahead, but he just gets a bump there from Droopy's Aladdin. They clash, and Droopy's Aladdin has now gone on from Keyfield Maverick. They're clear then of Prince Nassim. In behind these comes Ballymac Tibet, the youngster looking to stay on. And then we have Tomcat and Faye Point Susie struggling at the back, turning for home. And it's Droopy's Aladdin. He's going to go on and score. Droopy's Aladdin sees it out well from Keyfield Maverick, and third spot went to Prince Nassim.
Bosh.
Yeah, we have.
Droopy's Aladdin, nice puppy. Beats 5, Keyfield Maverick in second. Prince Nassim has qualified in third.
Yeah, we've lost Romeo Tomcat, sadly, Faye Point Susie and Ballymac Tibet.
Yeah.
And turned in a good position, Ballymac Tibet, turned in third, but we said I think he's got most early, Danny, and he's, you know, for a puppy who hasn't had that many races, Droopy's Aladdin, he's very good.
Yeah,
I must say, he's getting better and better. And this is a cracking run because he's tried to come back in Keyfield Maverick. You know, he's under a little bit of pressure going into the third and fourth bend, but he's pulled away from him again.
I think he's had the right dog in behind him because I don't think Keyfield Maverick is a real strong runner, is he? You know, Keyfield Maverick, he's got bursts of early, and if he's in front, he'll pretty much always stay there. But when you've seen him come from behind, he is just one of those that doesn't quite not go through with his effort, but I think he's just content to let the other dog lead, quite frankly. Keyfield Maverick in second, 29.08 is what we've just heard. So
times mean nothing.
It's, yeah, I mean, look at the first bend, though. You see Tomcat and Susie have taken each other out there because they've had to come in together. I think Tomcat's moved out, Susie's moved in, and they've just taken each other out of the running. Ballymac Tibet still just learning the job for me, for Liam Dowling. And Prince Nassim, very nice type. Like, he had 8 wins in Ireland. Apparently he's the Kilkenny track record holder as well. So it's not as if he's a back number, and he's run on strongly in the end. And he's one of those that I think he's qualified in all 3 rounds so far, and he's going to go under the radar.
This will be a good interview now, Michael Burton. You know, we spoke to him earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
He was quietly confident. You know, he was quietly confident, Michael Burton, and he's done a brilliant job with this ground. He's only July 23, gone about the business right, and this is a cracking run. I must say, the Prince Nassim has caught the eye in defeat there. He's run a big race in defeat. As has Keyfield Maverick. Keeley there on parade with Keyfield Maverick. They'll be delighted. On the Twitter space last night we had Phil on and was really pleased, you know, and this is a family affair, family story.
Yeah.
With Keyfield Maverick and Phil Milner, so they'll be thrilled to be the next round. So congratulations to all 3, but it's all about Droopy's Aladdin. Cracking run. Absolutely superb run.
Hobbsy, that was a cracker from one so young.
It certainly was, and you can see Michael Jones, head man of Mike Burton's, of course, with Droopy's Aladdin. I'm just going to get some instant reaction from Phil Milner because there's huge smiles here because Keyfield Maverick has run a fantastic race. You're into the quarterfinals of the Derby.
Wow. It's not often I cheer one on like that, but wow, I've never been so pleased to get second in all my life. Oh, that is just unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, we're Derby quarter-finalists. Top 24 dogs. He's done everything, hasn't he? I mean, the Aladdin dog flies at third bend, and well done to them. But he's stuck at it so well tonight, and he had to be brave coming around that third. And I was looking what was behind us, but he's kept at it. And
good luck next week.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
So let's have a chat. Once the pictures have been completed, Mike Burton just taking a little bit of a tumble there. The former British Lion, of course, and a huge fan club from Valley contracted there. Mike, what about that? I know you're just about to chat with Jim from the Racing Post, so your initial reaction to that, because that was sparkling.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the way he's been coming out of the races, you know, and we've looked after him, nursed him. I had a little bit of luck because he got some nice rests between runs earlier to this stage, but to get here and break like that and show what he did, well, he's a wonderful fellow, and to be doing that for me. Sometimes I've come second and third in big races, and I always think as long as the Greyhound runs well, I'm doing the right thing. And so today, I had a little bit of that today. I must be doing something right because he's doing okay, you know.
I think I said before, he is one of the fastest dogs in the Derby. He's staying on a lot stronger now.
Yeah, well, he is. He must be. He lives in Gloucestershire, a great rugby country, and that is where he gets it from the air, you see. It's a wonderful thing. People should have a kennel in Gloucestershire. Come and live in Gloucester and see what you can do.
And we talked earlier to the Champagne Club, of course. They've got a huge fan club. Bubby Charger, brilliant tonight. You guys have got a huge following in terms of the Valley. You are representing the Welsh track, aren't you?
I would say, listen, come here. This boy, Mike, he's my head man, Michael Jones. He lives a mile or two from the Valley, and I went down there to train, and after I trained all my pups down there, schooled, and he works with me, and he's a Valley man, and he wants to represent it as well as he can.
And you're representing Wales very well.
Yeah, representing Wales, representing the Valley track, and not only that, the Seven Racing Club as well. And, well, we're doing really good for it as well.
All they want to do in Wales now is get a rugby team, I think. You know, that's the thing I'm worried about more than anything.
We can't fix that, but in Greyhound racing, we are seeing just sensational performances week after week from this fella.
Yeah, he's getting stronger and stronger every week. He's doing a lot better. He's going to do against more stronger dogs. Just come on next week.
And not frightened of the Irish Challenge, clearly. You never have been, Mike, have you?
We've been boxing there. I have to say, I played Ireland twice in my time, and I lost both times. so it can't all be good. But this is we'll have a lot of fun with it as well. And the dog's well in himself, and we're looking forward to next week now.
You're playing your part in what has so far been a quite sensational derby, I think. So many stories.
But you know, if you look at the level of this now, do you know, it's been absolutely top class. And at every derby, I saw Faithful Hope win, Chittering Clapton and all those. I was one of the crowd in, you know, I was a kennel boy then, White City in 1960 something, and to be training one of the dogs that's doing all that now, it's a wonderful thing for me, and it's something I've always wanted to do. So it's a big milestone in my life to get to here.
Good luck in the draw. You're going to stick around for that?
No, I'm going to get it on the way home because I've got to get some more dogs up. We've got to run at the Valley tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Great, OK.
Good luck.
Thank you.
That's probably a long journey home. Right, we've got the results in. Droopy's Aladdin, win time 29.08 and 11-4 second favourite for the pup. Keyfield Maverick, cracking qualifier in second at 7-2, and Prince Nazim, what a strong run for third at 5-2 favourite.
Bet Clever. Bet Goodwin. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs. Bet Goodwin.
And racing, good start by Kildare on the inside and 5 Mickey's Barrett, but it's Kildare going to lead into the bend from 5 Mickey's Barrett and 4 Romeo Magico. Kildare leaves the inside free and Romeo Magico's there. He takes it up on the inside. It's Romeo Magico from Kildare, Mickey's Barrett and Price's Jet, but on the third bend, and Romeo Magico leads by a length and a half to Kildare with 5 Mickey's Barrett, Price's Jet, Savannah Bowen and O'Hannon, but Romeo Magico has won the Derby for Dave Furniture and Graham Holland. It's a first Derby success for Graham Holland. He's been knocking on the door. His breeder, owner, Dave Furniture, finally climbs the mountain.
Romeo Magico, and what a caller Ian Fortune is as well. PL's doing a grand job for us this year in the English Greyhound Derby. Now, Joe's not always sat in this studio. There's another favourite part of Toaster Racecourse that you enjoy, isn't there, Joe?
It's normally the stand.
The food stand?
The food stand, yeah. We didn't have the Greek today. We had a burger, Danny. It was absolutely lovely, weren't it? You had one as well. I had
did.
a double one, to be fair.
Yeah, I just had
went
a
all
single.
out. But we like that.
I've had the Greek one every single day so far. Grilled halloumi and salad, grilled chicken and salad, the pork souvlaki, the lamb. Oh, it is next level, I have to say. So very good fare.
There's Andy Lismore getting his racing manager.
Yes. Getting his protein ready for the long...
It's like our production manager, the burger with no bun. It's like, oh, it's just horrendous thing to do. I don't know how I'm still friends with her, to be honest. That's just...
Because you have to be? No.
You can't have a burger with no bun.
Well, you can, and I do as well, actually, quite a lot of the time. But I also have the Greek wrap without the wrap, just have the salad. So, yeah. Were we friends still?
No.
Right.
That's the racing quickly.
We have got plenty of racing coming up, of course, this evening. Got, Doghouse Riley says, got a feeling Diego might win the next race. I do too, so I'm really sorry about that if you have lumped on already. Vega on fire. Yeah, fancy Diego here, just think he might have a better start in him. But let's go to Hobbsy first before we dive in.
Thank you very much, Danny and Joe. Well, with me is Russ from One Night Stand. You're playing after racing tonight. You're going to entertain the troops after.
Last race, we're on. I think, what time's the last race? 9:15, so 9:25, we'll be in. Entertaining the masses. Pop, soul, funk, everything. It's happening here at 9:30. Where is this? The marquee tent, I guess.
Exactly. So this is after racing, of course, and this is going on throughout the Greyhound Derby, and this is your first visit?
Second visit. So we were here 2 weeks ago, and we're privileged to come back and do it all again. What a fantastic venue.
Now, there's a good crowd out there. You're expecting a few in?
Hopefully, they'll all come in and be amazed by the musical talent on show.
And musical talent on show. What about your musical highlight? What should we look forward to? Come on, what's your tune? What's your big tune?
In what respect?
Anything. What's your favourite tune?
Oh, my favourite tune. It's got to be Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan. And we'll be playing it tonight.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. You're going to be tripping the light fantastic. If you're here at Toaster, and this is going on each and every round of the Star Sports English Greyhound Derby, so people are partying after racing. Back to you.
They are partying after racing. For all the rounds and the Derby final, the partying before and after racing, because we're open from 10 a.m. on Derby final day. Bjorn again. ABBA ring away. Yeah, that's.
I saw someone say the other day, under 30s, well, they know who ABBA are, and I don't think there's anyone who doesn't know who ABBA are.
I mean, we're almost under 30, Joe.
Yeah, I am. Not quite my co-pilot here, but. Yeah, you are. What are you? We're about...
I'll be 37 in September, so thanks for that. But I love ABBA, and so very excited about seeing Bjorn again.
They're the best thing to come out of Eurovision, aren't they, ABBA?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't, to be honest, I couldn't name you another act out of Eurovision, so yeah, ABBA for the win. Right, thankfully, enough of that, because the dogs are on the way. They've saved us again here in the studio as we get ready for heat number 6 already. There is trap 1. Droopy's Trade ran a stormer last week off a 4:01 split. He's learning all the time, in my opinion, and he's only been beaten once so far when he was picked up by Elusive No More in the gym crack. I was going to say Hello Diego, but that was the maiden derby. Patrick Janssens, trap 2. Gorgeous girl, this Teddy. Tails going, always does. Very happy girl. Brighton Bell semi-finalist. Finishes like a train as well. So if she's handy enough, she'll be qualifying again. We've got trap 3, That's It, Jack. Reached round 3 of the Irish Derby. Can he go one better? Led Dynamic Force last week and held his second place well, I thought, ahead of Hello Diego, who's in this race today. Flashing Fender, 0 from 5 in Ireland. He is still a maiden. He's had 2 runs over here, but he's a very young pup in August 23, and he hasn't been beaten too far in either round so far. Trap 5, Tiffield Tarquin, unbeaten in the Derby so far. Didn't get it all his own way last week, but he still managed to win by 2.5. Sunnyside Broxy not quite franked the form though. And trap 6, Hello Diego. He's another happy boy. Clearly loves it here. He was impressive off the pace in the maiden Derby. He's one that's going to keep on qualifying. Now, split second, get 50% of your stake back as a free bet if your Greyhound finishes second in any Star Sports Greyhound Derby heat. Download the app, visit thestarsports.bet or call that number on the bottom of your screen. Don't forget to gamble aware and 18 plus. So some good offers from the Derby sponsors. I'm very much looking forward to this race. I think Hello Diego is going to run a cracker. I've got a feeling that he's just going to sit a little bit handier this week and then fly, because this dog is so strong in a finish. How he won the maiden derby from way off the pace.
Would he catch a Tiffield Tarquin if he's in front of him?
Don't know.
Look, we know that racing, they can come together, and then it allows the strong runners to get into the race. But they have absolutely ploughed into Droopy's Trade this week. He opened 5-2 Sunday when the draw was done. Here's Tiffield Tarquin from last week. This was a cracking race, I must say, with Sunnyside Broxy in there. Barnett Bear. It was Drury's Allgo who took him along. He come away well, Tiffield Tarquin. He went with them then he went with Drury's Allgo. But from the third bend onwards, Danny, he really drives this bend well. You don't see too many do it from the outside at toast to that third and fourth bend, but he's drove the third bend really well and got on to win well. He stays extremely strong. He weren't going to see another rival there. 2.5 lengths over Sunnyside Broxy and Barnett Bear back in third. Just getting up that all-important third place that he's got again, Barnett Bear. Here's the kids enjoying it. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely loving life, the kids. And I mean, kids love dogs most of the time and animals, and you know, watching them race and seeing how happy they are and getting the younger generation involved is what we need in the Greyhound game.
10.
11-10. Wow.
5-2 start of the week.
Wow.
Best back dog of the round.
OK, so biggest loser in plenty of books for Droopy's Trade. I'm with Hello Diego. Are you with Trade?
Tiffield Tarquin for me.
OK. A great story.
Yeah, brilliant. I think he'll lead 4, lead 6. If he gets a clearer, Droopy's Trade. Last time he was in 1-4-20, 4-0-1 from 3. So can he come away from 1?
I would love Teddy to qualify. She's the story of one of the stories of the derby, as well as we go to PL.
Head runs, 8-6 of the third round of the derby. Favourite in 1 here, the youngster Droopy's Trade. And they're off and racing. And Droopy's Trade gets a decent break, but Tiffield Tarquin also showing pace into the turn, but it is the youngster Trade that hits the front, barges his way to the front. And Teddy got shuffled back through the pack. Down the far side, Hello Diego is making progress here, and it's Droopy's Trade with a 2.5 length lead from Hello Diego, who will be staying on. Then in behind these comes Tiffield Tarquin and Teddy, and it's up towards the line. Droopy's Trade is all out. It's Droopy's Trade hanging on grimly from Hello Diego, who finished with a flourish, and back in third was Tiffield Tarquin. The youngster got it done in the end, half missed it, roared to the bend, pushed his way to the front and saw it out for Pat Janssens.
Oh, what a finish, what a race. Droopy's Trade has won, lands those gambles, or lands those bets for people this week. And Hello Diego just denied in second. Tiffield Tarquin's run a burster in third as well. This is a cracking race. I mean, Droopy's Trade down the lane. At this point, we both said he's won, Hello Diego.
We said that at the second bend.
Yeah.
I thought he was close enough, Hello Diego. He's just took his time, and you know, that might be the dog he is, where he just takes until that fourth bend to really get going. And look how far Tiffield Tarquin's been beaten in the end as well. You know, he's been stopped.
Wow.
He's been stopped in his path, Tiffield Tarquin, and when he's come away, I thought, just hold your line, you're going to get through here, and you're going to drive the bend. He just hasn't managed to do so, and that's allowed Hello Diego to come out that second bend and give chase from there. But yeah, Tiffield Tarquin's through. The story continues. 28.98. The winning time for Droopy's Trade. He goes into the quarter-final alongside Hello Diego and Tiffield Tarquin. 2 more wide runners through again. We're getting so many through. You know, we don't see that too often at Toaster. We really don't. We see a massive inside and a rail bias, but we're getting loads of wide runners through. The best dogs are out there, though, as well as your lot of Droopy's Trade, who's just getting better and better. He really is.
Superb effort from Droopy's Trade. I mean, they've all kind of bunched up on the inside. I say the inside, more the middle, really. 6, Hello Diego has been left clear, but I think he does get a slight knock off the second turn. There's a couple of hard luck stories really in behind, but cracking effort from Droopy's Trade. I mean, there's about a length split in the whole field. Superb effort. So 1, 6, 5, all through to the next round. Hobbsy, that was an absolute cracker.
So much speed to win this race, get in front of Tiffield Tarquin. Hello Diego, though, has run an absolute stormer in defeat to qualify, of course, upholding the maiden derby form. Roy Ball, who's part owner with Droopy's Trade, that was Good effort, wasn't it? I mean, he was out-trapped by Tiffield, but blasted to the bend.
To work hard to make the bend, you know, really hard. And he came down out of traps. He looked like he was stumbled a little bit on his nose, but he's worked really hard to make bend. And then show what a strong young dog he is. You know, terrific performance. Really, really impressed. He's coming of age. The dog's coming of age a little bit. You know, we put him in for experience, and he's not letting us down. You know, 3 out of 3. So, listen, no complaints. No complaints.
And a little bit of a fillip for your part owners, of course.
Yes, Tony Stubbs, one of the part owners, bless him. He's on his way back from Wembley with disappointment to Sheffield United getting beat. So hopefully this will give him a little bit of confidence.
It's going to cheer him up?
Yeah, hopefully it'll cheer him up. Have one for trade, Stubby. Drink what I've had for trade.
Right, go and get your picture taken. Jim Tate is summoning you over so we get some other reaction if we can. Good performance from Hello Diego in defeat. I saw Team Hennessy, so they'll be thrilled to be in the next round. But let's stick with Patrick Janssens and the crew. All smiles, of course. It's a double landed for the big man. Started off the evening with that cracking performance from Slick Sentinel. And this fellow, Droopy's Trade, has sparkled once again. We said earlier, he's an exciting young greyhound. He had to battle to get to the front, but he's got so much speed.
Oh, he does. You know what I mean? He come out well, I thought, and then he sort of went a bit down on his nose. But then when once Roy's dog led, I thought we were in trouble here. But he paced up into the bend and got on the inside, and then he made his own luck, really, there. And yeah, down the backside he took over. When Hello Diego turned second, I said to Graham, I was telling him upstairs, I said, we're in trouble here because that finishes like a train. And he just held on. Listen, he's only young, he keeps improving, still broke 29 after all that. So I'm very pleased with him in the quarterfinals and fingers crossed.
He's a July, he's a pup.
Yeah, he's very, listen, I don't want to take nothing from Jimmy Fenwick. He was a good winner at the Jim Craig, but he was desperate unlucky not to win that race, you know what I mean? But that's dog racing. You win some, you lose some, but he's a very nice dog for the future.
And generally things have gone okay up to now, Pat?
Yeah, Romeo Tonka just missed the break and he got knocked out, but still done well in defeat. But yeah, we have so far 3 qualified, so fingers crossed, we've got 2 to go.
Good work. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Droopy's Trade has won in a time of 28.98, 6-5 favourite. Beat 6 Hello Diego 5-1 and Tiffield Tarquin third 5-2.
Bet Goodwin, proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
You stop me like a red light.
Bet clever, bet Goodwin.
So we are creeping ever closer to the end of the third round. We've only got 2 more races to come. If you are watching, of course, on YouTube and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do. We are in a bit of a rivalry with Barking Mad Betting at the moment. They're over 3,000, and I think, not to be biased, that we bring better content. Just saying. However, if you haven't subscribed, please do so, because 1, it boosts our numbers, boosts our views, gets the sport out there with all the content that we're putting out there. 2, you never miss an episode, and we do put podcasts on there as well, so it's not just the live shows that we produce. We've got all sorts of different things going on, and we've got some big plans for the future as well after the derby. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And it also means you can get involved with the lively chat that's going on about who's betting who's backing whoever, and walking down memory lane, of course, with a few people as well, talking about White City, Wimbledon, all that. So it is a good place to be. Feel good walking down memory lane. So thank you to everyone that is a subscriber, thank you to everyone that's watching, and thank you to everyone for getting involved in the chat as well, and letting me know what readies are, and also about Bucks Fizz as well, because we've got about Bucks Fizz for the Eurovision. Right, let's go back to Hobbsy.
Thank you very much, Danny and Joe. Now with me, Tony Briley. You know Tony's face, of course, leading Ola with the coppice prefixed Greyhounds, but he was big news this week. You made the headlines, Tony Briley, elected the owner's representative on the Greyhound Board of Great Britain, which you won that particular race. Excited by that, delighted to win. Now you've got the hard work ahead.
Yeah, very, very excited. I think, you know, it's a great opportunity to fight the cause of owners, because we don't get a fair deal, really, and there's a lot of things that, you know, we could change to make the ownership experience much better. And in my experience, in the time I've owned dogs, we've seen a lot of owners leaving the sport. So, you know, I want to get owners coming back and wanting to take part. and we can do that just by changing a few things, and that's what I'll be fighting for.
And just to explain things, the owner's representative gets a seat on the Greyhound Board of Great Britain, and of course you advocate the claims of owners, and they are a vital cog in the wheel of greyhound racing, and a little bit of love and care required, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, you describe it as a vital cog. I think, for me, it's the most important one. Without dogs, you've got no racing, and I think that doesn't get recognised well enough. So, you know, for me, it's just promoting the fact that we're here, we're putting a lot of money into the sport, and, you know, we just like to see a bit of respect from, you know, from the whole thing, you know, because it is a big investment, not only in buying a dog, but actually, you know, maintaining the kennel fees and, yeah, big expense. But that's just part of it. You know, there's a lot of things. You can make the experience much better when you go to track, you know, make it like you feel welcome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to fighting the cause for fellow owners.
And when's the first board meeting?
Next Wednesday in London, so I shall be there.
Have you told your wife?
Well,
you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, well, it's
happens to be her birthday.
It is her birthday, and yeah, we've booked a couple of shows while we're down in London. So, well,
so she's giving you a pass.
Yeah, absolutely. No, she's so supportive. She recognises that it's my biggest passion in life now, greyhound racing, and you know, she's there supporting me, pushing me to do that. She thought it was a good thing that I was prepared to have a go. So yeah.
Fantastic. Look, we hold you in high regard, Tony. You're a passionate greyhound man, and we know that you're going to fight the owner's corner within the Greyhound board. It is a tough gig, no question about that, to effect change. You've been the chairman of a board or on the board of a number of companies, so this is slightly different to what you're used to, I suppose.
Yeah, it is different, but it isn't. You know, in fact, if anything, you know, it's the first board meeting I'll be going into a long time where I'm not chairing it. So, you know, it'll be a new experience for me. You know, I've had all the paperwork for the board meeting, so, you know, doing the proper prep for it, you know, I know what to expect, and I'm looking forward to working with people on the board and trying to make the sport better. And that's all we need to do. We need to make the sport so it's around in 5, 10, 15 years, but not as it is, in slight decline at times, but actually moving forward and just building on some of the initiatives that you see. I mean, you know, here at the Derby, you know, it's great. You know, there's been some investment in the track. That's what we need. You know, we need to get that level of enthusiasm back where it should be.
And there was 4 of you guys up for the vote. Have you had contact with, I think it was Caitlin, Alan and Ben? I spoke to Ben as well. A passionate young man, and yeah, you know, he should be kept close to us all.
Yeah, no, my plan will be to make contact with all of those people. Because they were good candidates, and you know, with any of these processes where there's a vote, it's always going to be a close run thing, and you don't know who's going to win. And I genuinely didn't know whether I was going to win. I was kind of sitting waiting for the result, as everybody would have been, not knowing whether I would win it or not. So yeah, it's down to, you know, what the owners think and who they vote for.
Tony, best wishes moving forward.
Thank you very much.
Well, we did do a podcast, didn't we, with all of the owners' rep nominees. That was a couple of weeks ago now, if you wanted to actually go back and listen to what Tony had to say, and the other 3 candidates as well. But great to see that he is so enthusiastic about it, and, you know, his wife's in full support as well, because I think if you don't have that support, it is a job that's going to take a lot of doing.
Yeah, certainly. Well done to Tony, of course, for winning. Hopefully they can all work together. You know, Ben ran him close, didn't he? And you know, hopefully they can work together. Do you have got any ideas, and they can throw them to Tony, and he can, you know, push them on. And we've asked that question. It can be a bit of a poison chalice, so hopefully he can be the man who makes the biggest change. Right,
we're going to move on to the next heat. It is the penultimate heat of round 3. I can't believe I've just said that. We have down the card, Chap 1, Fay Point Harvey 5-4, 2 Romeo Empire 7-2, 3 is Coolio Gold at 8, 4 Vagar 10-1, Sing Along Molly and 5 at 3s, and 6 Deliveroo 16-1. Vagar is my nap. But Showtime guarantee, we guarantee to lay any dog to win £5 on the show in any Star Sports Greyhound Derby heat. Our thanks to Star Sports. Don't forget to gamble aware, 18+. Download the app, visit the website, or call the number on screen now. But get involved with the sponsors of Gone to the Dogs Alive, and our thanks to them for letting us bring you this wonderful action, because it is a privilege, isn't it, Joe, to be here to just cover a sport that we have loved for a long time.
And the best competition of the sport. You know, this started off as a podcast.
Yes.
That yourself and Joe Andrews started. All of a sudden, now we've got 3,000 viewers, and you know we're people are doing the right things. So fair play.
Trap one here is Fay Point Harvey. Has gone further than both the Derby campaigns that he was in last year, and did well to lead Cheap Sandwiches for so long last week. Also, our thanks to Bet Goodwin as well for sponsoring this evening's show. They've sponsored all the first 2 rounds as well, so thank you to them for, again, bringing us Gone to the Dogs live. But there is Fay Point Harvey for Graham Holland. Fastest time of the second round, 28.77 calculated. Trap 2 will be Romeo Empire. Was third in the British Breeders' Stakes final. He's a gorgeous looker. He's a show dog. That's what he's going to be after in his second life. Third in the British Breeders' Stakes final. 6 bends probably in his future, and from the last 2 weeks, I think we can see why. We've got Trap 3, Coolio Gold, who reached the quarters last year. He's a regular in top comps. He was forced to check late on last week and battled really, really strongly to qualify. My nap. How she qualified last week, I'll never ever know. She finished second behind Churchfield Sid from box 5. Don't think the draw matters to her. She's shown cracking track craft. Trap 5, Singalong Molly, was the eye catcher of the first round. She was a cracking finisher last week and showed she took to the track well. And 6 is Deliveroo. 2 Cat 1 semis as a pup. Has got a good draw, and it was a better run for me all round last week, and only went down by half a length behind Fay Point Susie. So you've heard, and about why my nap is Vagar.
Deliveroo.
Yeah.
Brother, it's a bubbly charger.
Ah. We're going to have a look at Singalong Molly in action from Heat 12 last Saturday, because this was an absolute belter. She sat handy up into the first bend. She's not going to be one of these that's going to flash out and make all. That's not how she runs. But you can see the improvement she's made from the first to the second round. She was my nap last week, and I could have waxed lyrical about this bitch all day, because the amount of speed she's shown, just look at her go past them all. She's I mean, I know there's a little bit of trouble in behind, but she's absolutely bolted up, and she's just kept finding.
She did. She was 7-2 in the week and went off 5-4 favourite in the end. So a massive gamble, like we've seen with Droopy's Trade in the last there. She was the subject of a big gamble last week in the heat. She was a wrong price and retired as well, which is fantastic to see.
Getting excited as well. Why can't I go out there?
I'm with one here. Next best, Fay Point Harvey, was 11-4 in the week. Big price. I'm hoping Romeo Empire can get through. He's my last now. I've got Cheap Sandwiches and Romeo Empire. I've lost JT Craze and Sunnyside Broxy tonight. So yeah, 50% gone. Hopefully we can get Romeo Empire through. I don't think he can win, but I'd like him to turn beyond Fay Point Harvey, and he'll definitely qualify.
Just to make you feel better, 2 of mine are through as well. I've only got 1 more to come to run, so far, all my anti-posts are still going.
What's your last one?
Singalong Molly.
Singalong Molly, yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping she can just qualify here. Oh, well.
You want 4-5, don't you?
I do want 4-5. I'd love 4-5-3 for me, because I like Coolio Gold, or 4-5-6, because I like Deliveroo as well. And I think Ben Collins puts a lot into the game. He was one of the nominees for the owner's rep, and Tom Halebron. I just think this lad might surprise on the outside, Deliveroo. So it will be interesting. It's busy.
Good. So it should be.
Yeah. Very busy. So they're about to go forward at Toaster for heat number 7. This is just... I can't believe we're up to heat 7, Joe. It's just unbelievable.
This is a cracking race, and the next one is as well.
Churchfield Sid, Barnsick Bear in the next one. Sole Mio. Dynamic Force, Fabulous Sneak, Indian Body. I mean, they've all been good races. I think, you know, the first round is fun because you've got the start of the stories. Yeah. And you've got the pups that might surprise, or the older boys that might surprise, or the girls or whatever. Now it starts to get a bit serious because, well, the second round is a bit more serious. And then this night is always, I think, the nervy one. And then it'll be the semis for me that I think, for connections especially, would be the nervy one. Because once you're in the final, it's in the lap of the gods.
Enjoy it. Yeah, enjoy the week. This is now serious.
I've I'm holding my breath for this one, and I don't have any connection to any of them. Right, we are ready to go.
Wave of the flag, and the hare is on the move for Heat 7 of the third round of the Greyhound Derby. Hare runs. And they're off from racing. Fame Point Harvey takes a flyer, and he goes into the first turn with a 2-length lead already in front of Coolio Gold, who's going to turn second. Then comes Sing Along Molly, who's trying to make ground now, and she's doing so. Moves into second at the halfway stage. Romeo Empire likewise is trying to make a move. They're into the penultimate turn, and it's Fame Point Harvey bearing down his Sing Along Molly. She's a strong stayer. He's toughing it out on the inside. Fame Point Harvey, but late and fast, Sing Along Molly gets it. 5 beats 1 and 2. Romeo Empire got up for third. Wow. Sing Along Molly from off the back to reel in Fame Point Harvey.
Well, that's the third anti-post bet through. Sing Along Molly has won, though. I mean, this bitch is superb. We are just going to watch the magic happen again, because she was in box 6 for the first 2 rounds. She's learning how to run the bends of Toaster. You can see that she's not gone quite as wide as she did in the first round. And once she turns here, 3 lengths behind Fame Point Harvey, for me, game over.
Second in the Shelbourne 600. Final behind Ballyhooly Bruno, beat Callaway Kinniger in that 28.86 from off the pace. A cracking run, it really was. And yeah, Romeo Empire's got through in the end. He's run a burster to get as close as he had. I thought Fame Point Harvey, when he's come away, you know, he was a strong running performance last week. He led to the second bend. Cheap Sandwiches come back at him a little bit. You know, they've all kind of, he's kept his line there. He's come across too slightly, but yeah, nothing when he's that clear. He can go that far clear of him early. He can go where he wants, and just a brilliant run, an absolute sensational run from Sing Along Molly to catch a dog like him when he's what? He's 3 lengths clear already, Danny.
Yeah.
So to do what she's done there, she straightened up out of that second bend, and she has absolutely took off into the third bend. And from there, the writing's on the wall, like you said. She's going to go and go by. Took her time, you know. He's not going to stop Fame Point Harvey. He's a 28.70 dog, so he's not going to stop when he's in front. But she's took her time, she's drove it well, and she's gone on to do well in the end of Romeo Empire, flying home in third to make the 1-2-3, the 5-1-2. So 3 cracking qualifiers there. We lose Vega, we lose Coolio Gold, and we lose Deliverer, unfortunately. But 3 brilliant qualifiers.
3 brilliant qualifiers. The other 3 were just all in trouble with themselves at the back of the field, unfortunately. But superb effort from Sing Along Molly, and she is, oh, she's a bitch to save her. That is for sure. She's quite big as well. You know, 31-ish kilos usually, so she's going to hold her own in that bit of trouble that she had with Vega, to be fair. So you saw them on the head-on coming out the boxes, and she's been pushed and pushed and pushed by Vega out, and then she's gone, nah, see you later. So I think she's quite a gutsy, battle-hardened bitch, this Sing Along Molly. And I think we were talking ahead of the first round, you know, she hadn't had a look at Toaster, and that was always the concern. It was qualifying in the first round, and then once she's had the look, she's such a strong bitch anyway. We know that from the 600, and yeah, she's superb. I mean, she looks like she wants to go again.
Emma ready for the first time?
Yeah, she's come out. Well, we saw her, didn't we, before? Yeah. She said she's been let out the kennels for a night. That's that. So they'll be chuffed, and I think.
Well, because they lost Ballinabola Joe early, didn't they?
They did.
Competition, so it's thrilled to get her through.
So far, we've only got 1 more bitch to come. She might have just got top bitch if Fabulous Sonique doesn't qualify for.
Lost Faye.
Yeah, in Heat 8.
I think we've lost.
Right, let's go to Hobbsy.
Thank you very much. Just seen Gilbert Anderson walking through, owner of Sing Along Molly. Just going to have their trophy presentation, pictures taken. Emma Buckley with the winner, Sing Along Molly, who's done the business there. Jock, of course, who works for Kevin Hutton. Tall Paul's in the house as well with a team of supporters. Pat Buckley's just disappeared, but he'll be back in due course, no doubt. But that was a fabulous performance, and I think, as you guys have remarked in the studio, she is thus far the only bitch through to the quarterfinals of the Greyhound Derby. Fabulous Sonique, of course, to come in Heat 8, but those top bitch backers on Sing Along Molly, well, they're sitting pretty at the moment. We'll get a very happy owners, and absolutely thoroughly deserved. What another fantastic race we have just witnessed here at Toaster. The 2025 Star Sports and TRC English Greyhound Derby, which continues to deliver. Fair play to Faye Point Harvey in round 1 for Graham Hollands in that draw for the quarterfinals, along with Romeo Empire, who stayed on very, very well. There's a very happy owner, Gilbert Anderson. Gilbert, that was sensational. What a run.
Oh, it was a great run. It was over the moon. I knew the one dog had all the early pace, and we were hoping to come from behind. And when I see her within a length, I thought there's a chance that she could just pick him up, and great run, over the moon with it.
I know second in the Shelbourne 600, but tell us about her Irish card.
She's more of a, like, we took her to Mullingar and she just didn't get on with the track for the Cesarewitch, and she didn't get on with it, and she come out of it early. And then when we went back to Shelbourne, she started showing her true colours again. And obviously Derby final night.
Don't go away, Emma.
No, over Derby final night she ran a blinder as well to win over 525, I think that was there. But she's over the moon with her. She's just exceeding all expectations, put it that way.
Good luck in the draw.
Thank you very much, Winnie.
Let's have a quick chat with Emma. Emma, that's fantastic. Long time, my dear. How are you?
Very well, yeah.
Better after that?
Great. Yeah, definitely. She's run a big race, so just a big relief, and the pressure comes off the shoulders when you're into the drum for the next round, for sure.
It makes it special. I mean, she's, as it stands, the only bitch in the quarterfinals, which takes some doing.
Yeah, definitely. Like, she's coming on week to week. She didn't have the look around when she went into the first round, and when you weigh up the dog she picked off, Faye Point Harvey's run a big race there, and he ran a massive race last week. So, she's going in with good company, and she's running good and great company, so hang in there for as long as...
She's not shy of a battle.
No, definitely not. She's full of heart, and I think that's what makes her so good. Gilbert's been so lucky with great bitches, but she has to be up there with her heart, and how clever she is with the way she tracks, so it's brilliant.
Great stuff. Good luck in the draw.
Thank you. Thanks,
Nice. Sing Along Molly, 28.86, has won at 132nd favourite, beats Faye Point Harvey, 11-10 favourite, Romeo Empire third at 9-2. Our thanks to Bet Goodwin for sponsoring this evening's show. They are an integral part of the Gone to the Dogs Derby coverage, because we've had them as sponsors for the first 2 rounds, and they've continued on for the third, along with Star Sports, who've joined the party this evening. So our thanks to the bookmakers for getting behind this show. And there we go, 50% back on first day losses, up to a £25 free bet. Do have a look at the T's and C's. Don't forget to be gambleaware.org and 18+, please.
As it stands, one wide runner who's getting trap 4. We've got 9 through.
Yep.
With 2 more to come in the last.
Yep. 9 wides.
Out of 21 through.
Yeah, it's hotting up in the wides. Yeah, I can't remember the last time we saw this many wides. Sorry, I'm just looking at the split times, because I think we've had a 3.96 so far with Slick Sentinel, and I've not yet got the last couple through, but that's the fastest of the show so far.
Yeah, that would have been quick. Faye Point Harvey, he's gone to the Benwell, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
So that would have been a decent sectional. But yeah, it's all hotting up. 9 wides out of 21 so far, and 2 to come, including
Sid. Oh, can't wait for Churchfield Sid. That's soon. Hobbsy next.
Not, of course, reporting on all the big bets going through the tills here on Star Sports' pitch. It's been a busy night, hasn't it, Simon?
It's been very, very lively on the pitch tonight. There's been a few big players, and they've been opening their shoulders. And the best thing is, sometimes they've been backing different dogs, which is different from the previous heats where they've all sort of latched onto one. So they've managed to get a few quid tonight, but it's not over yet. 1 race to go, but they are nicely in front. There's been a couple of big turnarounds in the photo finishes. 2 against and 1 for. So, yeah, but it's very good. It's brilliant fun to be down here and amongst it all.
Can you give us a tease of some of the bets that have gone through, the bigger ones?
Biggest bet so far has been £10,000. There's been £6,000, £4,000 bets. You know, bang, bang, bang. 1 race, they won 20 grand. So that shows you the sort of figures. And another race, they laid a 6,000 a 4, and that dog was still a winner. So
Cash is king tonight.
Sorry,
Cash is absolutely king here.
Some of the bigger punters do bet on card.
you know, that we know them from other places. They'll bet on card, but there's plenty of cash flying around as well, which is always most welcome. So.
There's plenty of value to be had with all the 4 bookmakers here tonight.
Yeah, it's not just Star Sports that will lay the big bets. All of them, you know, if you ask them, they'll lay. And there's a bit of hedging going on as well. Star hedged a couple today. They're hedging with us, so it's quite lively. It's a bit like the good old days, you know, in the betting ring.
That's good to hear. Now, I spoke to the racing blogger earlier, Stephen Power. Yeah. He's an internet sensation, if that's the right phrase, but so too were you this morning. Extraordinary stuff on Twitter. There you were, very Trump-esque, I thought, with what was that, a mud pack on or something?
I don't know, that's my wife. She likes to try these potions on. With that one, smelt a coffee. Could well have been just the dregs from our cafeteria this morning, but...
Supposed to make you look 20 years younger?
Well, what do you think, Obsy? Does it?
Absolutely. You only look 82 now.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Simon, always a pleasure.
Brilliant, you too. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, they've had a few losing nights so far, so they'll be happy that they're just about up.
Yeah, hopefully we get a result here and they lose again. We want to see the bookmakers get beat, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Of course we do. It's fun. It's all fun, but they do say, don't they, in the later rounds. So everybody starts to firm up the opinions in the first 3, and then we get the start of the other competitions. The Derby Plate. We've got the Ground Trader Stakes, 6 heats next week, of course.
6-pen race, 6-pen comp, the sprint.
Durando.
Puppy. Yeah, one off. We got Puppy. You got loads, absolutely loads. We're trying to figure out a schedule.
Yeah.
Because there's that many. Look, there's 14, 15 races. It's a hell of a lot to show, so we're trying to pick what we can, and yeah, we'll do that this week, but we'll be showing them all anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to come back and show every race.
It's just whether or not I can sit in here with you for 15 races.
Well, we're not in here, are we? We're over there.
Yeah. Thank goodness for that.
I'm trying to sub myself, get back out there. My friend Gary misses me, he's told me.
Oh, to be fair, you were the best thing that's happened as the comedy duo of Greyhound racing, that's for sure. Jason will be back as well. I know a few people have been asking where Jason is tonight because he brings the comedy angle to the show. But he'll be back next week. Trap 3, Sole Mio, 2-1 favourite for this one. 5-2 Churchfield Sid, 3-1 for Barnsick Bear, 9-2 Dynamic Force, 12's Fabulous Sonique, and Indian Bonnie at 33-1. So, Sole Mio is the favourite. Churchfield Sid for me all day long and, well, twice on Sunday, but Saturday.
Yeah, I'm with him. I think he'll lead and may call. He's just got brute early speed, hasn't he? This was Churchfield Sid. It says Sole Mio, but Churchfield Sid. Thank you very much to the team behind the scenes for changing that. This was Churchfield Sid winning last week. Vega was in this race. You see the running that she did to finish second was frightening. But yeah, this was all about Churchfield Sid. A cracking run. 28.75 beating Vega and Droopy's Plunge. 2-7 Droopy's Plunge was on this occasion.
Yeah.
Look at Vega.
Unbelievable. That's why I thought she'd go well tonight, and obviously she's just got into trouble, which happens. It's Greyhound racing, that's what happens. But Churchfield Sid, I mean, 2 from 2 in the Derby so far.
Loves the place.
I mean, he got to the final last year, 4th, wasn't he, in the final last year? So he loves being out wide in the stripes. So for me, if he gets through, it's going to be interesting to see what the draw will do to him. We've also got Sole Mio in action as well. That was last Saturday. This was from box 3. So he's had to work hard to get to the front in the initial stages, but once he's there, done a good job.
Certainly did. Very good job. It was a winnable race for him, I must say. He had Pain Barrier, Era Secundai. He was in 3, Righty, Slingshot Sam and Ginger Shelby. So a winnable race for him, but you can only beat what's in front of you, Danny, and he's done that really well. 6 3/4 lengths, 28.91. He didn't really come away, but he's showing that good pace. He's got the Conan Kirby form. He's holding up. He was second in that. You know, just get stronger and stronger. So we'll let you talk through the parade.
Here is Fabulous Sonique, 3-time Cat 1 finalist. 2 have been here. She's not been beaten far in either round. She sits handy, she battles well, she knows every grain of sand at Toaster, and she's another happy little bitch who will be heading off to the boxes shortly.
Brilliant ratio. Brilliant strike rate.
Yeah, 30 from 75, 17 seconds as well. Unreal. Trap 2 will be the track record holder. Barnsick Bear recorded it back in October. He did bomb out last week, and he only just qualified. He just didn't get the race. Barntic Bear's the nervy type.
Yeah.
Nervous type. He does not parade, Barntic Bear. Solo Mio, second in the Conan Kirby. Memorial, cracking runs in both rounds so far. I think he's a proper toaster dog, this lad, for Peter Cronin. 2 from 2, sorry, so far over in the UK. Like I say, Barntic Bear just doesn't parade. He's just a nervous type, doesn't like it. So if he wins, he'll be going straight to the kennels as well. Track 4, Indian Bonnie, Maiden Derby finalist, Blue Ribbon semi-finalist. He was troubled last time behind Sing Along Molly and still managed to cling on to 3rd. There is 5, Dynamic Force. Been mixing it with the top company in Ireland and won well in both rounds so far for Paul Hennessy with Trap 6. Churchfield's here, there he is, 3-time Cat 1 winner, 4th in this last year, battled well in the first round and then absolutely routed them last week.
He did, and hopefully he can do the same again tonight. We're both with Danny. Was around 130, 7-2. In the week, he's now in 9-4, second favourite behind Solo Mio, who is a worthy favourite in Trap 3. Should clear Barntic Bear and Fabulous Sonique on the run to the corner. My worry with Barntic Bear is Fabulous Sonique on his inside. Now, if he had a Solo Mio on his inside, he's going to be out of his way and give him a good tow into the race. He's got someone now, Fabulous Sonique, although he's going to be a lot bigger. He's 12 kilos bigger than her. She might just be in his way for long enough. She hasn't got that brute early speed that a Solo Mio would have. Will be out of his way.
Yeah.
So now he might be finding trouble spots. So I'd want to be against him. I hope he qualifies because he does add to the competition.
Yeah.
Of course he does. We love them strong running from second bend to third bend and winning line runners. You know, they add so much excitement to the comp. But I think he might struggle here. So I'm with 6, Churchfield Sid to lead all the way.
OK, so...
And if Fabulous Sonique isn't in the first 3, we've got the best bitch. We've got the top bitch.
Which would be Sing Along Molly. Yeah, because everybody else is out bitch-wise. So we're just waiting for Fabulous Sonique to see if she can make it through to the quarter-finals.
I'm sure Ian put her up preview night. Best bitch.
Sing Along Molly? Yeah, he did. So let's hope that Fabulous Sonique keeps him at bay, because otherwise he's right about too many things. 5 for me, start well, being inside Sid is crucial. 5 and 2 reverse forecast. Dynamic Force for me in Track 5. Kudos to Mike Davies for getting some decent Greyhound coverage. Let's hope he makes this more frequent on a weekly basis. Hopefully so. Lee Horton's loved it as well. I've just got Paul Gebhard, Bear. He shouted at me, so there we go. Barntic Bear getting quite a few people excited. I mean, he is one of those dogs, isn't he? He promises so much because obviously he's the track record holder. We want to see the track record holder through as far as he can get, but then he's also that mercurial type who is a bit nervous, and that sometimes can bear out in trapping and can bear out in the race as well. So it's a very interesting runner, Barntic Bear. But
Patrick Jansen's got 4 out of 5 through so far. He's lost Romeo Tomcat. His last one here, his 6th runner of the night. Barntic Bear trying to make it 5 out of 6.
Unbelievable strike rate. Just mad, isn't it? Oof, nice glass of vino right there, all 3. They are heading behind.
See how cold they're not as well.
Yeah, but you know what's good? They're still out there watching the racing.
Definitely.
You know, that's what this sport's all about. You see the best of the best, especially in the Derby, especially on this night. This is a cracker. I love this night every single year. I'm always excited for the Derby. This night is when I'm really...
Ramps up now, doesn't it?
Yeah, can't sleep, want to get to the next round already, just want to see what the draw's like, want to just, you know, I want it to be over so I know who's the champion, but I don't want it to rush.
Flip-flopping favourites. Churchfield Sid 2-1, was 7-2 in the week. Solo Mio, a bit of a drift, out to 5-2. 6-1 next in is Dynamic 4. No, 3-1 next in, sorry, Barntic Bear. 6-1 Dynamic 4. 7-1 money for Fabulous Sonique. She was 9-1 and 33-1 Indian Bonnie. Been a cracking night's action, Danny. You can go to Paul.
Let's go to Paul.
Pair runs then for the 8th heat of the 3rd round of the Derby. Stand by for a start. They're set. ready and racing, and it is Solomeo who bombs out the boxes with Churchfield Sid for company and trying to get up there as well as Dynamic Force, but can't quite make it at the moment because it's Solomeo that's gone round in front here. He's gone 2 lengths clear from Dynamic Force. Then we got Churchfield sitting behind these. Then comes Indian Body, and at the back of the pack we got Fabulous Sonic and Baltic Bear just can't go the gallop as they turn for the judge. Solomeo with switching up on the inside to challenge his Dynamic Force, but Solomeo sees it out well. 3, 5 and 6 the order. Churchfield Sid has qualified back in 3rd. It was the early pacers that got to the front and they stayed there.
Oh, that was, for me, heart in mouth, because I was just hoping Churchfield Sid qualified. But Solomeo, this puppy, June 23, son of Coulivanni Hoffer out of Palermo for Peter Cronin. He is a cracker. I mean, it's the early pace here that has been shown by Dynamic Force as well, who can flash out, he can just sit in behind. I think that's what's maybe cost Churchfield Sid the lead, but Solomeo, I think he's just a nice pup.
The head-on will be interesting because he's come away, Sid.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see with Dynamic Force what's happened there in terms of why he hasn't been able to lead.
Yeah.
That's why sectionals as well can be quite deceiving, Danny, because that dog's been doing 4:10, 4:09. Churchfield Sid 3:96. He's come away. He hasn't been able to lead him, so the head-on will be crucial. We've lost, unfortunately, the 3 at the back there, but we'll just see this 28.64, fastest time of the night. We'll see here with trap 5 as well, Dynamic Force. 6, Sid's trying to edge in. 5's coming across. Yeah, they've come together. You know, he's trying to get across. So a draw in 5 or 4
for Sid
wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more wides through, so there's 11 through. So nearly 50% are wide runners.
That's
in the quarter-final. We've never had that over here.
No.
Never had that over here. So the draw is going to be key. So there's going to be 3 trap 4s.
Wow. Just to say as well, Solomeo was 2nd in the Kirby. Bubbly Charger was 3rd. Both have absolutely stormed to victory tonight.
How good's the winner then? And we didn't even see him over
8 Point Ranger, yeah. He potentially very, very special. So trap 3 has won. Solomeo has beaten Dynamic Force in 2nd, Churchfield Sid in 3rd. I had a complete mind block then as to who came 2nd. 3, 5 and 6. Absolutely cracking race here, Hobbsy.
It certainly was. An instant reaction from Darryl Bear, part owner of Churchfield Sid. You're in the quarterfinals. Can't ask for much more.
It's all that matters, Jonathan. He's run very, very game tonight. Obviously, just couldn't go clear the bend, but, you know, brilliant dogs won that race. And so proud of this dog. He does it for us week in, week out. And we're where we need to be. We're in the quarterfinal. Please, God, we get a nice draw. Who knows?
Exactly. I mean, he's a good young dog who's gone with him to the bend.
Very, 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 very fast dog. I mean, you know, I thought Sid come away quite well tonight, and it's a good dog.
It certainly is. Go and see Churchfield Sid. Well done to Darryl Bear and to Stephen Billy Evans, of course. They'll be delighted. Richard Rees, Jackie and the crew. Peter Cronin with Mick Keneally. He'll be delighted as well. He's in the quarter-final, and Peter, over the years, has tried to win the English Greyhound Derby. He's had such a great campaign in so many English derbies. This is almost seems to be the final piece of the jigsaw of that quarter-final draw, to see a Peter Cronin runner in there. Solomeo, one of the youngest runners in there. He's doing you proud, Pete.
Yeah, he is. He's running well, to be fair. You know, he's kind of the hallmarks of the Kildare dog. To be fair, we kind of threw him into it. He ran up the curb, he ran a blind in the final. You know, here we threw him in the sprint. Probably my fault. I left him off for a week. But anyway, we got away with the first round. And I think, to be honest, it takes 2 or 3 runs to run it. Track is immaculate. Massive crowd here. Great buzz here tonight. Great, fabulous to see this type of crowd. And what a summer's evening for us. Fantastic, yeah.
None of this is new to you, but it's great that you're a part of it once again.
Someone has to be unlucky, like, that's me, right? So, no, I think, like, look, listen, just keep trying, keep knocking on the door, and one of the days will happen, like, you know. Some of the dogs probably weren't quite good enough in finals, that type of thing. Crocus Champion probably Kildare, probably my best chances. Timwell Bish went very close as well, you know, but look, listen, just keep knocking on the door and see what happens.
You've gone very close, 2ds and a 3rd as well.
I'm getting greyer now,
Peter, good to see you, and good luck in the
shit. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Well, the result is through. Solomeo 28.64, 5-2 second favourite, beats trap 5 Dynamic Force 11-2, and Churchfield Sid, the evergreen old boy, in trap 6 15-8 favourite, is through.
Bet clever, bet Goodwin. Proud sponsors of Gone to the Dogs.
Bet Goodwill, Bet Goodwill, Bet Goodwill.
Our thanks to Bet Goodwin and Star Sports for sponsoring the Gone to the Dogs live this evening. I completely forgot the name of my own show. Right, we are going to look back at the highlights from this evening because it has been an absolute cracker.
Up go the lids and off and racing, and Slick Sentinel has bombed out the boxes and leads into the turn in front of Newin Benny, who's going to turn second. Then comes One Slick Jamie, who got a flyer and has turned in a pitch. In behind these then comes Sunnyside Broxy, and Righty is the back marker at the halfway stage. Into the third turn, and Slick Sentinel, he just loves Toaster, doesn't he? He's booted 3 lengths clear now from Newin Benny. Then in behind these comes One Slick Jamie, and running on from the back is Sunnyside Broxy, but up towards the line. 6 wins it. And away and racing. Bombay Pat missed the kick. First to show was Bubbly Charger, who lead into the turn in front of Droopy's Plunge. Oh, just got dragged back there. And Droopy's Plunge, he is now back in 4th spot as they reach the halfway stage. Bubbly Charger with Bombay Pat now trying to launch a challenge into the 3rd turn. They're well clear of Ginger's Shelby. In behind these comes Droopy's Plunge. They turn for the judge now. It's hard work for Bubbly Charger, pressed all the while by Bombay Pat. But he's kicked again. Bubbly Charger makes all. It's a 4-6-2 order. Bombay Pat is beaten in 2nd. Droopy's Plunge qualifies in 3rd. And away and racing and flashing out the boxes is Delardi-Dar. Early pace though is Ballybola Joe to come through and challenge, but it's Delardi-Dar that hits the front from Ballybola Joe up on the outside. Just got a little bump there at the 2nd bend, but he is trying to bridge the gap into the 3rd turn. Delardi-Dar on the inside, Ballybola Joe on the outside. They clash, and this is a loud 6. March on Freddie to edge closer, along with No Better Feeling coming for home now, and Delardi-Dar has kicked again and gone on. Delardi-Dar wins it. He's close for 2nd between No Better Feeling and March on Freddie for the qualifying spots, but it got a bit messy there at the 3rd turn, didn't it? And they're away and racing, and Cheap Sandwiches has come out well. Bocco's Diamond is showing good early dash into the turn and clears Suleika Senan, who just dragged back JT Craze, and he's last now down the far side. Bocco's Diamond showing his gears and going 2 lengths clear of his Kennelmate Cheap Sandwich in 2nd. They're well clear of Suleika Senan. Then comes Droopy's Bookham, who's trying to get past and look for a way to qualify. As they turn for home, it's Bocco's Diamond with a 1.5 length lead and sees it out. Bocco's Diamond just from Cheap Sandwiches, who lunged near the line to force a photograph. And they're off and racing. Fairly level line between Keyfield Maverick and Droopy's Aladdin into the turn. And it is on the outer Keyfield Maverick. The nose is ahead, but he just gets a bump there from Droopy's Aladdin. They clash, and Droopy's Aladdin has now gone on from Keyfield Maverick. They're clear then of Prince Nassim. In behind these comes Ballymac Tibet, the youngster looking to stay on. And then we have Tomcat and Faye Point Susie struggling at the back, turning for home. And it's Droopy's Aladdin. He's going to go on and score. Droopy's Aladdin sees it out well from Keyfield Maverick, and 3rd spot went to Prince Nassim. And they're off and racing, and Droopy Stray gets a decent break, but Tiffield Tarkin also showing pace into the turn, but it is the youngster Trade that hits the front, barges his way to the front, and Teddy got shuffled back through the pack. Down the far side, Hello Diego is making progress here, and it's Droopy's Trade with a 2.5 length lead from Hello Diego, who will be staying on. Then in behind these comes Tiffield Tarquin and Teddy, and he's up towards the line. Droopy's Trade is all out. It's Droopy's Trade hanging on grimly from Hello Diego, who finished with a flourish, and back in 3rd was Tiffield Tarquin. And they're off and racing. Fame Point Harvey takes a flyer, and he goes into the 1st turn with a 2 length lead already in front of Coolio Gold, who's going to turn 2nd. Then comes Sing Along Molly, who's trying to make ground now, and she's doing so. Moves into 2nd at the halfway stage. Romeo Empire likewise is trying to make a move. They're into the penultimate turn, and it's Fame Point Harvey bearing down his Sing Along Molly. She's a strong stayer. He's toughing it out on the inside. Fame Point Harvey, but late and fast, Sing Along Molly gets it. Ready and racing, and it is Solomia who bombs out the boxes with Churchfield Sif for company and trying to get up there as well as Dynamic Force, but can't quite make it at the moment because it's Solomia that's gone round in front here. He's gone 2 lengths clear from Dynamic Force. Then we got Churchfield sitting behind these. Then comes Indian Body, and at the back of the pack we got Fabulous Sonique and Bartic Bear just can't go the gallop as they turn for the judge. Solo Mio with switching up on the inside to challenge his dynamic force, but Solo Mio sees it out well. 3, 5 and 6 the order. Churchfield Sid has qualified back in third. It was the early paces that got to the front and they stayed there.
Well, it's been an absolutely cracking night's action. We're almost ready for the third round draw, or the quarter-final draw even, and we will be showing it on the show as well. So if you're still here, which 1.7 thousand people are, thank you for still being with us as we head to the restaurant. And Hobbsy.
Thank you very much, Danny. Welcome to the restaurant here at Toaster, and plenty of interested connections, fans of the sport looking forward to the draw for the 2025 Star Sports English Greyhound Derby quarter-finals. 4 quarter-finals to be drawn. No guards now. Duncan Gibson, Senior Stipendiary Steward of the GBGB. Tell me the makeup of the 24 runners.
Right, no guarding, no seeding changes. So there are 12 rails, 1 middle and 11 wide. So the way we do the draw, the 12 rails get drawn first, so we work left to right. So the first one out will go trap 1 in the first quarter-final. The next one out will get trap 1, second quarter-final, and so on and so on. There's 1 middle seed. That middle seed will go in the last heat on the first available space outside of the last rails dog. We can pretty much tell you that's going to be trap 4 in the quarter-final heat 4. We then draw the wide dogs. First one out from the quarter-final, first quarter-final will be trap 6 in the first quarter-final, then trap 6 in the second quarter-final, and so on until all those wides are used.
Let's go. Chawik Kim Zanzone of Star Sports will do the honours. The 24 names going into the drum, and of course those 24 names not only including the reigning English Derby champion, De-La-Di-Da, but also the reigning Irish Derby champion in Bocco's Diamond. There's a strong home challenge, of course. Some fantastic racing tonight, some amazing buckles. And the first of the quarter-finalists is about to be drawn. Droopy's Bookham. The Tom Hilbrun runs out of trap 1 in the first quarter-final. Romeo Empire. Next out of the hat. Second quarter-final trap 1 for Patrick Janssens. Dave Firmager. Also in trap 1 will be from Ireland, Faye Point Harvey, the first of a powerful Graham Holland team, running out of trap 1 in the third quarter-final. And Bubbly Charger for the Champagne Club. Sensational performance from Brendan Matthews. His runner this evening gets trap 1 in the fourth quarter-final. Quick spin of the drum. This should be easy, Kim. Just 4 races. Not 32 after the first round. Solomio, you've just seen him win Heat 8 in the third round, representing Peter Cronin, who has gone so close in Greyhound derbies before, seconds and thirds for Peter. No better feeling, and there was no better feeling, I think, for Esther Driver and her partner Paul Salis. Paul's just undergone heart surgery. They tell me he will be here next week, which will be great to see. One Slick Jamie, next out of the hat. Running out of trap 2 in that third quarter-final up against Faye Point Harvey. Paul Marchand, of course, the trainer of One Slick Jamie. Rupert's Plunge then running out of trap 2 in the fourth quarter-final. Have a strong Patrick Janssens team. Chelsea fans well represented. Salis, Marchand, happy days. And Billy as well. Our glamorous assistant, putting the names on the board for the quarterfinals of the Star Sports English Greyhound Derby. I called him the pride of Wales. Very much English thrown in as well, because he's trained by a former British Lion in an England hooker in Mike Burton. I've got that right position right. De-La-Di-Da, the reigning champion. Running out of trap 3 in the second quarter-final for Liam Dowling and the Garson Syndicate star. Prince Nassim. Great campaign for Maxine Locke and the crew, running out of trap 3 in the third quarter-final. And one of the youngest runners in the Derby. The pup, of course, Droopy's Trade for Patrick Janssens, who now sees Droopy's Plunge and Droopy's Trade side by side in the fourth quarter-final. And as Duncan Gibson alluded to, Efil Maverick, Bill Milner and Keely Cunningham's Greyhound running out of trap 4 as the sole middle seed left in the last 24 of the Derby. A spin of the drum. Sing Along Molly. The wide seeds now begin to flow. The only bitch left in the quarterfinals of the Derby. The top bitch bets settled now. Pat Buckley and the crew, Gilbert Anderson. Tifil Tarquin, what a story. The McColl's in the house. Bill turns 97 next month. What a ride Tifil Tarquin is giving connections. New in Benny for a legend of the game, Derek Knight. Haymaker Mac, 40 years ago. Were you there? Not far off, I tell you. Neither of us. I think I was a year after, actually. Slick Sentinel, running out of trap 6-4. Patrick Janssens. So tough for Team Janssens at the moment. They got Droopy's Plunge in 2, Droopy's Trade in 3. Slick Sentinel in trap 6. Dusty's Cup champion, New in Benny, heat 3 of the third quarter-final. Here we go, Cheap Sandwiches. Went head-to-head with the Irish Derby champion tonight. What a buckle that was. Cheap Sandwiches goes into trap 5 in that first quarter-final. For Team Hennessy, Hello Diego. I bet Goodwin and JR Racing Syndicate Maiden Derby champion, Hello Diego in 5 in the second quarter-final. Dynamic Force. Dynamic Force running out of trap 5 in the third quarter-final. And there is Bocco's Diamond going in to trap 5 in the fourth quarter-final, which is complete. Bubbly Charger, Droopy's Plunge, Droopy's Trade, Keyfield Maverick, Bocco's Diamond, Slick Sentinel. There is never an easy English Greyhound Derby quarter-final. March on Freddy for David Mullins. And George Watson runs out of trap 4 in the first quarter-final. Churchill Sid running out of trap 4 in the second quarter-final. Bombay Pat in the third quarter-final, running out of trap 4, and that completes the draw for next Saturday's 4 quarter-finals of the English Greyhound Derby. First quarter-final, Droopy's Bookham, Solomio, Droopy's Aladdin, March on Freddy wide, Cheap Sandwiches wide, Sing Along Molly wide. The second quarter-final, Romeo Empire, No Better Feeling, Delardy Dar, Churchill Sid wide, Hello Diego wide, Tifil Tarquin wide. The third quarter-final, Fay Point Harvey, trap 1, One Slick Jamie in 2, Prince Nassim 3, Bombay Pat wide in 4, Dynamic Force wide in 5, New in Benny in trap 6, a wide runner. And that fourth quarter-final, Bubbly Charger in 1, Droopy's Plunge 2, Droopy's Trade 3, Keyfield Maverick in 4. The only middle seed left, Bocco's Diamond, the reigning Irish Derby champion and the current favourite of this year's English Derby, Slick Sentinel in trap 6 completes the lineup for the 4 quarter-finals. Over to you guys in the studio.
Wow. We'll discuss that shortly while we digest it. Download the app for Star Sports. Search Star Sports in the App Store or Star Sports Bet on Google Play. All the sports, all the action, all the odds.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you to Kim Zanzoni and Duncan Gibson.
Star Sports for sponsoring the show this evening. I hope you have enjoyed the coverage, and I can't wait to come back for the quarterfinals. I know.
We're right amongst it.
So for... who's going to lead to the first bend, Joe?
Wow. Droopy's Plunge.
Just wow, just unbelievable. I mean, Cheap Sandwiches, great makeup. Sing Along Molly, March on Freddie, not the best away. Bomb, away and gone for Cheap Sandwiches in 1.
Happy with his draw. I've got 2 left, him and Empire. Happy with both.
Quarter-final 2, Da-La-Di-Da, Churchfield Sid. Churchfield Sid should lead Da-La-Di-Da. Could be what happened last year in the final.
Strong runners in there, Danny.
Yeah.
Ella Diego, Romeo Empire, Tiffield Tarquin, all they're not stopping.
No. But neither's Da-La-Di-Da or Churchfield Sid, to be honest.
No.
So I think that's going to be fascinating.
Let's not forget about No Better Feeling there on merit. Stayed on really well to catch March on Freddie. Quarter-final 3.
Bombay Pat, hopefully you can just start a little bit better today. Faye Point Harvey absolutely cracks out. Prince Nazim, very strong.
You see what Dynamic Force done to Newin Benny?
Yeah.
To Churchfield Sid, sorry.
Yeah.
You'd want him in 6 Dynamic Force, so Newin Benny's got to tread carefully there. Faye Point Harvey's well drawn on the inside.
I think it's going to be a cracking 4th round.
And the last one's just superb.
Take your pick.
And we are back over there, OB. Studio, no more until maybe we'll see after the derby. But, this is just... The weeks take forever now, though. That's the problem.
I know.
I know. Forever, because you just want that to be tomorrow. And you're back here, and, yeah, this is when it gets serious now. You get through here, this gets serious now.
So, obviously looking ahead to next week, but we've got to have a look at the highlights from this evening because Da-La-Di-Da, the reigning champ, has done it again. 3.99 split, cracking time.
Cracking run, really was. He's been put under pressure there by Ballinabowler Joe. March on Freddie was in there. No Better Feelings in there. We've seen them qualify, and just at this third bend, you're thinking just don't come together. They come together, but no one's there to take advantage on the outside or the inside. That's just allowed then him to go on further again. The pleasing thing was, Danny, that we've seen him get carried to the podium, but he was just a little bit spooked.
Yeah.
And he is okay, so yeah, that's the most pleasing thing, that he's good to go for next week's quarter-final.
3rd fastest time of the night, 28.83. Bocco's Diamond, Cheap Sandwiches buckle was the highlight, I think, for me. There was only a short head in it. It had to go to a photo. 28.84 for the Diamond off a split of 4.07, but he was down on his belly out the boxes.
Yeah, just packed start. Just packed to the boxes, and what a race this was. This was an absolute belter. Droopy's Buckham in 3rd, catching Salakis Sen, there we can see 3 and 2, but this was all about the 2 in front, and they go so far clear of the rest. They are that good. They can put that much of a distance between the rest of them. They're Bocco's Diamond here. The gap just starts to close. You're thinking, OK, is he going to get there? Is he going to get there? And he just solved them in the end. He's only going to get stronger, though, you know, and he's missed a break there again, or peck there, so he's only going to get stronger, and he's got a decent draw again.
He has got a decent draw. I think, you know, you're going to look at all these races, all ends up for the next week, and I can't wait to see what people come up with. And, of course, the Derby Plate starts next week as well. Yeah. We've got such a good few weeks coming up in the Greyhound world, so cannot wait to be back here again next week, of course. 4 o'clock for the Derby preview show, and the full quarter-final coverage of the Greyhound Derby, Saturday the 31st of May. We will be on
times will be 7 o'clock-ish. Yeah, roughly 7 o'clock.
We will let you know throughout the week, so keep your eyes on the socials. And if you never want to miss a show anyway, do make sure you subscribe, like, do whatever you need to do to be a part of our channel, because we love having you here. So thank you so much to everyone that has tuned in. We will see you next Saturday.